Oh. Oh my goodness. You're gonna love it.
Good. Hey, damn it. Shit. Can you guys hear me? Get this thing out of the way. Wait a minute. Okay. There you go. All right. Got to work on that. What's up, guys? I'm still not there yet. I'm putting it together. I really am. I'm putting it together. I should have used the original. Oh well, whatever. I'm trying to incorporate uh Burnsy's intro with song with the actual intro I created for the first time I came back. But yeah, it's getting together. It's getting together. It's not there yet. You can't? Wait a minute. How did you know that I was asking if you could hear me? Huh? Hell yeah. Hey, how's everybody doing? I'm not in the let me see here. I'm still not in the Kaiser uh uh 20-minute roll call thing. So I guess I could still get away with this and be like, "Hey, what's up, mechanics? How you doing, buddy? Nice to see you. How's the family? Oh, killing time passing through. Always nice to see you. Hey, did you get that message I sent you? You know that message, the one about the thing about the thing. Yeah, I hope you got that message. Uh, Flo B, nice to see you again. Uh, a stepsister. I think it's less creepy if we call each other stepsisters, right? Like you're my stepbrother, stepsister, step by step, day by day. Stanley Haynes, what's up? Uh, stepbrother, thorn in my side. What's up, bud? Wait a minute. What are you trying to say? What? Oh, okay. So I can only come out at night. You calling me a freak? I seen the freaks only come out at night. You're a jerk. Love you, Stanley. Highest priestess. Hey, thanks for coming by. Nice to see you. I've been that. Haven't seen your avatar and name in a while. Do 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 do. Hey, shut up. It is kind of amateur hour right now. It is. It is. How's everybody doing today? Uh What's up, Joey? It's nice to see you, buddy. I Nomad. Oh, yes, I've seen mechanics. I've seen it. Ariel, what's up, bud? Yeah, I've seen it, and I have a theory on it. Of course, he's not gonna like the theory, but I have a theory on it. Peck, hey, buddy, what's going on, bud? Nice to see you. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for coming back. Stay here now. You can't ever go anywhere. Um, no, I didn't. Um, now my theory on coded sub count, is he buying it is what everybody's gonna ask, right? Is he buying it? And he's gonna say no. Obviously, Cody's gonna say he's not buying it. I know I did. I know I accuse myself of buying subs because it's an odd thing when it happens. But the big but is why all of a sudden, right? It's he's been around for a while and he's been like at 600 whatever the hell for a long ass time. Why all of a sudden? When I had my growth, even though it was weird and fast, it did happen in spurts. It happened in bursts. And people would not, if you guys weren't paying attention, it did happen in bursts. It was like I went from like 200 some odd subs to 400 some odd subs to 600 some odd subs. Then when I got past to the 1K, it just happened all like in a small stretch. But still, the stretch was in a relatively few amount of weeks. It wasn't like it happened. I was sitting at like say 800 or sitting at 600, and it just all of a sudden decided one day to go to 1,000. It was like small burst, but it still made me paranoid. It still made me very scared. And so I openly talked about it. I openly talked about how maybe I thought somebody was buying them for me, or maybe somebody was fucking with me. Even Kelly W, who had a comment on one of the earlier ones where I was getting them, brought that up that hey, maybe somebody's just fucking with you, man. And so here's where my theory lies with Coded. I think Coded has been seeking validation from a lot of people. He hasn't been getting it. This is why he gets so sour. He gets so angry with people. Because wherever he's been looking for it, it hasn't come back the way he's wanted to. Just look at the history of all the people that he's dealt with. Yeah, mechanics. Apparently, that's a thing. And you know what? I honestly didn't think that was a thing. I didn't think it was a thing because I thought that you would have to give like say like a certain amount of information for you to get those subs to buy them. But apparently you don't. Apparently you don't need that much. You just need like the email or something like that. This is what I've heard. Mind you, I'm not 100%, like with knowing exactly what you need to do. I just know that I did it. Yeah, he is. He is correct. Oh, by the way, and thank you for reminding me, Highest Priestess. Hang on. Oh no. Oh, wait. You know what? I'm just gonna have to remind everybody because I realized that I deleted the banner yesterday by accident. We do have collection data sheets when you come in. They will be to the left and then to the left and right hand side of you. Make sure you collect one data sheet for today. Make sure you bubble in all bubble sheets complete with completed bubbles. Make sure you use a number 3 pencil. And if you don't have one, ask your neighbor to break their pencil. Then you can sharpen both sides and you'll have double number 3 pencils. Thank you very much. That's just for all my collection data people out there. All right, buddy. You take it easy, man. I'm glad to see you, Peg. I'm glad you were here, buddy. Keep coming. but yeah, where was I at? He like I said, I think he's been watching a lot of stuff I've been doing because of course I've been talking about him. So I think he cultivated this excuse that you know what? I can buy subs and I can take the responsibility away from myself that I bought them by saying that somebody else bought them for me. And it's easy. I mean, it's easy to say that, right? Nobody can prove it. I mean, I still can't prove that I didn't buy my subs. Who can prove that I didn't buy them, right? The only thing I can say is that I didn't, because I didn't. I really didn't. The other thing that I could say is that I know the way they came to me, and I also understand because of what somebody else told me and because of something that I saw how it kind of happened in a weird way. But it has to do with other communities and them clipping me for an intro song. So it's you know there are more things to how I got my subs that make more sense in the long run, but it's difficult to explain. Um, as far as Cody goes, to me it just seems very weird. And like I said, he seeks so much validation from different places. That's why I believe everybody that he's ever come in contact with, he ends up beefing with. That's how I feel. What do we got here? Oh, Terry, what's up, bud? Thank you, sir. Terry, Terry's probably one of one of my favorite supporters because he comes in, says something nice, and then he runs away. Not that I want all of you to do that, but it's just cool. I don't know, man, dude. Thank you so much. I should do the same and pop in and leave a comment whenever I'm at your streams. Um, I think I'll start doing that more. I do hit the like button when I'm over there, and it's very nice to see you, bud. Very nice. Oh my goodness. Oh, whatever, Jamin. You haven't even been here for 2 seconds. What the fuck? Hey, and by the way, Jamin, get out of your feelings. You know better than that. You're here. You're here and stay here. Damn it. Stop acting weird. That's all I'm gonna say to you, Jamin. You know better than that. That's good, Joey. That's right. That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. No, it's cool, Terry. Terry, you're good, man. You're my boy. And we do need to do something soon, man. Just something. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on in Ohio. Total. We got a lot of shit going on in Ohio. So we should, man. We should do something soon. uh but yeah, so what was I at? Fucking so yeah, Coded. Coded, I think, is someone who seeked validation from the moment he's come on. He came in with this attitude that, like, I'm gonna call out, people or whatever, and like he doesn't give a fuck. I don't know. He's got this like, but I honestly, the more and more we go along and go along and go along, it we start seeing, this pattern of behavior of somebody that like, isn't exactly who he's putting himself out to be. It looks like he's seeking for people to make him to be bigger than what he is. And so he has this how do you fake it till you make it type of attitude. It's that's the type of attitude that he has. He's got this fake it till you make it attitude. Let me fake this persona that I am, this confident, I don't give a fuck type of dude, or whatever. But the facade is breaking. The facade is breaking, and therefore, since he can't get that validation from the people that like he's been trying to get it from, it is all kind of like falling back on him. I think now he's going to resort to the same tactics he's accused other people of, because why not, right? Why not? If all the people that you were seeking validation from don't accept you, why not just do all the fucking dirty tactics that you've been, putting on other people? It only makes sense, right? It happens. I would say, like, it's not going to help, right? Because of course he should know all those things are going to track, unless he's going to start buying views and all that stuff. I don't know, man. I don't think that any of that, if you actually do it, just like lying to yourself, lying to other people, is not gonna do you any good. It's never gonna do you any good. Seriously. I hope that's out there. I hope that's out there. I want to see that. Yeah. Highest priestess. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, we are. It's just dumb. Like look, it doesn't make any sense to me. Cool, Jamin. When you're done with that, come and hang out. Uh it just doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. It doesn't make sense to me. He says things like, I'm collecting data for this like group. I'm doing it's like, really? Why what's so hard? What's so hard about saying, you know what, I want to start a channel because I want to put my opinions out there. I want to start a channel because I want to tell people my message, or I have a message to spread. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. Why do you need this fucking like this weird like I need to get into this, I get into that, you know? Everybody's seeking a way to say, you know what, I'm into doing this because I want to do this or that. It's somehow it's a bad thing. Somehow it's a bad thing to say, hey, I'm here because fuck, I like talking to people. I want some attention. And I also want to talk about things that I want to talk about. Like there shouldn't be any problem with doing that. You shouldn't need excuses to start up your YouTube. It's called YouTube. Consider the title of the actual uh platform. It means it's your television. It means you create things for yourself. You don't need to be behind a group. And you don't need to have a particular subject. Create your own subject. Create your own niche, your own group. There's no need to be a part of this community, that community, this thing, that thing. You want to follow sovereign citizens? You want to follow auditors? You want to follow an asshole who's a two-time dropout from boot camp and claims to be a combat veteran and is a murder burglar, and you want to call him out for his bullshit? Do that. There's no lane here. My advice to Coded is just to be himself and fucking lose the facade, man. Lose it. You're destroying yourself. You're working way too hard to be accepted. And in the hood, we've got one line that fucking that takes all of that away. And if you knew it, Coded, if you were about what you say you are, you should know it too. You ain't got to lie to kick it. You ain't got to lie to kick it. People will accept you for who you are. Stop being scared. That's the truth about it. The truth about it is that you want to sit there and try to call out people, get all of these little secrets, and like, oh, let me get into somebody's ear and find out what they're about. So then I can use this to have leverage over them so that I can be my fucking crappy self and nobody can talk shit to me. None of that works, man. You surround yourself with people that are untrustworthy. You can't trust them. You keep seeking that type of validation from people that you can't even trust yourself. You're never going to be what you want to be, dude. You're just going to continue to work hard to catch up. That's all you're doing. Trying really hard to catch up. That's what you're doing. You can't explain why somebody does this. You can't explain why somebody does that. You throw out wild accusations. Then when it comes back to you and you say, you tell Coded, judge not lest ye be judged. What do you say? Oh, I'm the one who hides behind the Bible, right? You're the one who fucking hides behind the scriptures and all that bullshit. I'm not knocking anybody who believes in the Bible, but you don't use it like people do. At least not the good ones. At least not the ones that like, use it to help other people or help themselves. You use it as a shield. You use it as a weapon. When shit ain't going your way, you get behind it as a shield. And when you think you can use it as leverage, you use it as a weapon. I don't know, man. I mean, I don't have to be right with God. I don't have a relationship with him. That's just the truth. I don't fake the funk when it comes to that shit. I wouldn't disrespect anybody who does have a relationship with God and say that I do, because I don't. I don't feel anything like that. But I also don't say, "Oh yes, I'm righteous in it," or "I know because I know." No, hell no. I'm gonna be 100% sure if I ever do have a relationship with God that it's there before I tell anybody that I do, and I won't hide behind anything that I feel is real. Those are my 2 cents when it comes to code, and I just wanted to put that out there because this is all gonna get even more ugly when it comes to him. I don't think I want to talk about him too much anymore. I think he's a foregone conclusion of somebody who's looking for validation. And I think he's breaking. I think he's breaking. I honestly think that he's just breaking. I don't think that it's getting it's gonna get any better because there's no all of his bullshit is falling apart. All of his bullshit is falling apart. It's just truth. It's just what I think it is. Well, GMK, maybe. I mean, I don't want to. I mean, you look at wars and stuff like that are happening all on the guise of what people believe in. So I don't know, man. That's it's you might be right, but I'm not gonna say specifically it might be one religion. I think it's just like it's a team thing, right? It's a tribalism thing. Right? That's what I say. The whole thing about collecting a pay, I don't get that. Like I really don't get that. And the other part too about that is it's like, okay, so there's data collection. Cool. Data I get, okay, fine. But why you? Why you? Why your group? There has to be something deeper to that, right? And there should be more power connected to it. If your word and your collection of data means so much, it shouldn't be relegated to one small channel on YouTube. And I'm not saying that small channels can't become big or that small channels aren't going to be something big. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Well, yeah. Ultimately, nobody, like I said, I can't prove otherwise. It's not my goal to do so, but I can't though. I also, like I said, and I don't speak on things that I don't feel are not true. If I can't say for a fact that I know that I have a connection to something out there that's spiritual, I won't say it. I just won't. I think it's ugly when people pretend on that kind of shit. It plays to people's feelings. It's like when you're pretending you're diagnosed with something with your kidneys because you hurt somebody else and you're trying to connect with them because you both of you have like kidney failure or some shit. It's bullshit. Well, yeah, exactly. That's it. That exactly, Jamie. That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. I don't I don't knock people who say that they do. I won't sit there and tell them that they're wrong for it. If they feel it, they feel it. I personally feel like I wish I wish that I could feel something like that. That would actually be more comforting than feeling like there's nothing. It really would be more comforting if it felt like there was nothing. Because when I stop and I think about, like different things that I've learned, like from science and other people, like, physicists and stuff like that, and you start thinking about like how the universe works and stuff like that. It's a scary thing to think about. I'd rather there be somebody controlling all that shit. I'd rather there be somebody who could tell me, like everything's gonna be all right. You know what I mean? There's no reassurance when you don't have that kind of feeling that there's a spiritual connection. So it it feels if I really wish I could pretend like that. I really wish I could. I really wish that I could believe that there is something that's gonna make things better like that. In a way, it gives me it makes me more responsible for myself. It makes me feel like I'm the only one in control here, and I'm the only one who's gonna be able to make things right. Um, so if anything, it's put me in a place where I always have to kind of like reflect on myself. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, I wish every day that I could say, you know what, hey, I, I don't have to worry about shit because there's somebody who's got my back like that. There's an all powerful being that's gonna come in and swoop in and save the day. Until then, I just, I'm just gonna continue doing what I do. Oh, so what? Is that what Stanley was talking about? um, dude, look, hey, replay is a thing, all right? I love you guys. I love you motherfuckers. You guys just can't help. You guys just can't help but Stanley, I get it now. I get it now, Stanley. I'm sorry. Um, look, motherfucker. It's cool. It's cool. Hey, the replay is a thing. So people may not everybody may see this at the time that they see this. Okay, so don't worry about that. Don't worry about the title. What up? What up? How you doing, Tats? How's it going, buddy? What's up, Rebel? How you been? Um, so yeah, that's my thought on coding. But look at that. Look at that. My guy. My guy. What's up, Scotto? Scotto. Scotto. Scott Easy off the Heezy for Sheezy. What's up, buddy? Um, that's right. That's right. When Scotto walks into the room, you got to say two things: either Scotto or gay. One or the other. You guys need to understand that Scotto is required to be yelled at. And if you know him, you know why. Love you guys. Oh yeah. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Is Jeff in the house? Jeff's in the house. Put it up for Jeff in the house. What's up, buddy? Whenever you want to join, you know what's up. Come on up. I tried to hit you up this morning, bro. I called you. I think I tried to text you, but my text didn't go through. I think that had to do with my network. But I called you. But whenever you want to come up, buddy, I'm here. I don't know if you're dealing with your terrorists. I love it, Scotto. Scotto. Oh, whatever. Whatever. Well, maybe I don't know. I don't know. Am I? You know, as far as like being gay and all that stuff, I think we all have an appreciation for some people of the same sex. Honestly, I mean, I don't, I can't say that that a man has never given me a boner. It's happened before. Not that like they rubbed me or anything. I just like there's some guys that you just like you can't help it. They're pretty. Some guys are pretty. Oh shit! It's not confession time, is it? Shit. What do you mean you can't? You can yell all you want, baby. Oh, look at this guy. Whoa. That's cool, man. We're here. We're here. No, it's not. No, it's not. There's a difference between being gay and being appreciative of another man's looks. Okay, that's it's not gay. It's not gay. You've never had that GMK. You never had that buddy that like will like straighten out your collar or like he sees a little scuff on your pants and he comes and he brushes it off for you. I mean that's a good guy. I mean that a guy that'll do that is a good guy. I like that guy. Oh, for sure. Hey, you know what? I do believe that Jeff would definitely be a pitcher in a gay relationship if he ever was in one. He so has to take the helm every single time. What? What are you talking about, hippie? What the fuck are you talking about? You know, yeah, you're telling me that the guy who would tell me, "Hey, Jerry, your zipper's down," grab my crotch and put my zipper up was gay? Yeah, you're out of your mind. That's just a good friend. That's a really good friend. Like, who else would put up your zipper when they see it down? They just tell you, "Oh, look," and they start laughing at you. No, he would actually put my zipper up. That guy is not gay. That guy is the one of the best guys in the world. Now that I appreciated him and I love the things that he did for me, that doesn't mean that I'm gay. It just means that I appreciated the things that he did for me. Gosh, you guys look deep into stuff. I think you guys want me to be gay. No. Nobody can prove that either. Look, man, look, you're destroying the innocence of a boner here, okay? Boners don't always mean that you have some sexual arousement. It just means you're aroused. I mean, has your before you neuter your dogs, have you guys never seen them get excited? Sometimes they'll throw out a boner on you. They'll drop a lipstick on you, but it doesn't mean that he's trying to bone you. It just means he's excited. Excited. We don't have tails anymore. If I had a tail, I'd wag it. GMK, who doesn't know this about you already? Hey. Oh, get out of here. You see, you guys that don't accept the fact that you've had a boner because a guy gave you a boner are people, you guys are just trying to just like, you guys are not accepting of what happened. What happened was that either it's been a long time since you've seen your friend and you're like really excited for him. So you get a happy boner. There are different boners. There aren't just I want to bone boners. I mean, I know that's what we call them because that's what that means. But not all boners are meant to bone. They're like, you get a boner for being overly excited. Like I said, we've lost the tail. We don't have a tail anymore. if we had a tail, we'd wag the shit out of it. We'd be like fucking like, yeah, hey, what's up, man? But we don't have it anymore. So now we do the boner thing. By the way, I was giving him shit about the Yodely pickle, but I love it. That fucking pickle is funny as shit, especially when he starts fucking making it yodel. Hey, Lisa B, nice to see you. Thanks for showing up. I will, highest priestess. All right, I will. I'll leave the boner talk to the boner people. There you go. There you go. Thank you. Thank you for admitting that. Thank you. Hey, dirty. It's cool, man. Look, I'm just trying to help you out. I'm just trying to help you out. That's all. Oh, come on, Scotto. Who's yours? Who's yours, huh? Who's yours, huh? I- Let me see here. Let me think of the type of men that Scotto's into. Hmm. Hang on. You're like an older type, right? So you're probably like into like a Tom Cruise because he's so small. You could do all kinds of shit to him. I get it. Yeah, I'm gonna say Tom Cruise. That's your guy. For sure. Thank you. Oh, really? Shut up, Jamin. Really, really, Scotto? I don't see. I don't know why. I don't know why, but you seem like somebody who would like to dominate your men. I'm just saying. Jason Momoa. That's such a PC answer to be honest with you. I mean, what woman and what gay guy does not say Jason Momoa? Is it the dark hair? Is it the muscles? It's the dark hair and the muscles, isn't it? That's what I'm talking about, baby. You know what? You know what? Before I started seeing him like age, I thought Denzel was good, man. But I actually I admired Denzel for his acting, like skills. He's fucking badass. I think not enough people talk about Denzel. Maybe they talked about him too much at one point and they completely forgot about him. But I love Denzel. I love Denzel in movies. Like anytime he's in a movie, he's kind of like Will Smith in a way. Where Will Smith, I like to see him in big budget shit, not slapping other fucking comedians. But I like to see him in big budget movies and stuff like that. I really do. I really do like seeing Will Smith in that. But I like to see Denzel in anything. Denzel is just an awesome actor. He should be in more stuff. He's just a great actor. But you see, that's what I thought about Scotto. I thought Scotto was about that. I thought Scotto was about the softer part of life. Black don't crack, baby. You're right. Keanu? You like Keanu, Highest Priestess? Is that your dude? Keanu's. I actually dig Keanu in a lot of his roles because he chooses roles that are like him. You know, a John Wick, fucking The Matrix, all of that. It's just Keanu in different like versions of himself. It's never. I don't think he deviates from the type of person that he is, especially when he chooses his roles. So like I don't think he's a terrible actor. I just think he's smart on choosing his roles. He has aged well, though. He has. That's for sure. That is for sure. No, 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 no. Don't be so harsh on Will. I know that it's easy to be harsh on him because he chose to be so fucking cool with Jada Pinkett Smith. I get it. Jada Pinkett has been his anchor and not in good ways. Like he would do better if he disassociated from her. But then again, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? But I honestly think we're being too hard on Will Smith because of his choices as of late. But I don't think he's a bad dude. I think that he's just fucking. I think that he's a broken man. Honestly, I mean, if you have to give me, like, if I had to give you an opinion on Will Smith as far as like where he's at now, where he was, I think he's broken. I think he's broken. I think that he chose the route of someone that he thought he wanted to be, and that's not what he is now. I don't think that's what he is now. I don't think that Will Smith is who he is, who he once was, and I think he honestly is trying to find himself amongst that. But it's difficult, like when how do you how do you justify saying like I'm not happy when you got millions of dollars, when you're like you basically have no excuse to be fucking crying about anything. It's difficult. And anything you do in the contrary is gonna fucking make you look like an asshole. So I think that we're a little harsh on Will Smith. I think we're a little harsh on Will Smith because of that. And I think that if he were to disassociate from Jada Pinkett, you know, like say shit like I was being stupid. Like I can't believe I fucking slapped Chris Rock in the Oscars. Like I can't believe I did that shit. If he would say that like openly, I think a lot of people would accept it. I think we would lose that little annoyance that we feel right now. Because I do. I feel kind of like an annoyance every time I see him on screen. It's not really it's not really me hating on him. It's just the decisions he's made. It's just like fucking like ugh. Like dude. That yeah. Really? She should have. She should have been in that car in Vegas. We probably would have thought of her more fondly. Yeah, 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 yeah. Uh, Keanu's one of those celebrities you'll meet like at a mission or something. I used to work for the Los Angeles mission, not for too long. I can't say it was a long time, and it wasn't out of my own volition or anything. I fucking I worked there because I worked for a security company, and I was put there to work, and um I think it was a I know it wasn't Christmas or Thanksgiving. It was like a toy drive of some kind. Oh no, no, excuse me. I remember now. It was like beds. It was like buying beds for people in the mission, and Keanu had given like a bunch of money for that. Now he wasn't going to show up, or they said he wasn't going to show up, but he showed up. He showed up for like the main presentation. It was kind of crazy, and he was there for about I want to say maybe like 30 minutes, maybe tops. You just see this tall, like kind of lengthy, like dude just fucking walk in, and he has this. At the time, he was wearing a fedora. If you guys know what that is, and you couldn't really see him too much. He said a small thank you speech or whatever, and then just took off. But it was cool. It was cool because nobody was expecting him, and he just decided to show up. And yeah, I hear a lot of stories like that about him. So he has to be a pretty decent person. Well, what? Oh no, Will is one of the Diddy people. Really? Really? What do you mean? What? There always is, Stanley. There always is. Ah, I'm done with that. I'll stay unforgiven. Thank you very much. Um, Real quick, just so and I know I'm saying that I'm gonna have a recap of the week, and I am. I really am. I'm waiting for Jeff. Uh, the listen. The unforgiven part, right? You know, I did it was a play on something. Um, but the more it like becomes a part of my identity, I'm starting to understand something, like, and it's really like, making me feel more comfortable in that in the complete title of my channel. Um, in that you can't please everybody. You're not 100% of pleasing everybody is never gonna happen. It's just never gonna happen. There's always gonna be people who are not gonna be okay with you or who you are or what you do or what you believe in. It's just always gonna be that way. And like and it just feels right. It just feels right because it's like if people haven't forgiven me for things, it's okay. It's all right. I don't need it. Um, I'll remain unforgiven, and I like it. It did start off as a play on something, but it doesn't mean that anymore. And so, like I said, the more time passes, and the more things that happen, and I get involved in, it just feels right. Um, so I appreciate it, but I don't need it. Yeah, you're talking about the lady that played his mom in the Fresh Prince. I heard there was a bunch of drama on that shit. That's a whole lot of tea. That's a whole lot of tea. Nah, I'm good. I mean, I'm good, Anacito, and thank you for showing up, man. One of the OGs, one of the people that I've known for a long time. Uh, cool. I love this guy. I love this guy. Why, thank you. Yeah, really though, right? Killing, really though. Never. uh, what are you talking about? Carlstown was bad. Wait a minute, what? Are you talking about it's not unusual to be loved by anyone? Dude, fucking Carlton, the Carlton dance introduced me to that song. I never heard it before the Carlton dance. Never heard it before the Carlton dance. uh maybe. No. Um no, no rebranding, no rebranding. My channel's gonna stay the same. I know, Jeff, that we're gonna do our thing on Patreon. No, but my channel's gonna stay the same. The same. The like I just want people to understand that, like, like, for me, like, the when I started my channel, I started thinking about my channel. Uh Calling it that had nothing to do with people forgiving me or not forgiving me and stuff like that. It had a lot to do with, like, the actual, like, Metallica song. Um but it's devolved from that since then, and like I said, it's really, like, like, it's really found its own space in how I feel about myself. And so, like, unlike other people that, like, have put their name out there and kind of like tried to match it. It the name I put out kind of grew into what I've grown into. That's what I mean. It's like it's kind of it has become more or less my identity as a whole than just a play on something, and that's what I mean. It's like it's not just it's not just me having fun with the thought of uh being this person who's going to get people upset, because that's kind of what I thought I was going to be. But um, it's put me in a place where I kind of feel like no matter what, if I stay true to myself, there's gonna be people that are not gonna be happy with that because being true to yourself means like you have to sometimes say things that people are not gonna like. Some people are not gonna be okay with. Uh, but it means that you're being true to yourself, and that's all that matters. And that's why I kind of feel like it's become more of an extension of me, and the name has grown into something that I like, uh, and not just a play on words. I didn't escape California. I didn't escape it. I didn't escape it. I miss it every day, bro. I miss California. I can't even fucking lie. Like I miss California. I literally miss it so much that I would entertain going back like any day, dude. Like I miss California. I that's my home. There's no I don't even want to go there. All right, you got it. Google it, cupcake. Oh shit. Yeah, I know, I know, I know. Hey, listen, you. Listen, Richard. Me and California have our own thing going on. Gosh darn it, you're not gonna get in between that. Oh, you're not. You're not in California anymore, GMK. I saw that. Wait a minute. There you are. You're not in California, dude. I am like. I am definitely homesick right now. I fucking like. I really am like I don't even want to get into it that much. Like like it's yeah, I'm homesick. Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's the last time I asked California for $10. Fuck that. Damn. I can't do Arizona. Um, I was there for a minute. I can't do it. Oh, I wish somebody would. No, dude, you know what? I know people talk a lot of shit about Cali, and it's so easy to villainize it because of like fifth largest economy and all that shit and fucking you know all the bullshit that's come out of it or whatever. Um, but it's you know I don't know. It's home. I'm sorry, guys. Like I don't. The topic, like it's not even that. It shouldn't even be that heavy. It shouldn't be that heavy, but it's like it gets to me because I am extremely.
What's up?
Excuse me, just give me a second, yeah. Go ahead and talk to the people. Man.
Okay.
Great. I don't know what happened to his mic.
I thought you said give me a minute. I jumped up to
No, I
try and help you.
did. I meant. Give me a minute. You talk to everybody.
Oh yeah. That's like what I was doing. Like that's the whole reason I jumped up real quick. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I could definitely make myself useful here in these couple of minutes for sure. Is it Friday? Fuck, it's Friday. Yeah, that's right. Um, y- I'm like my my trip to Ohio. And when I say my, I mean like my wife's. She went Wednesday, or fuck, it might even been Tuesday. So now I have no idea what day it is anymore. But like, fuck, dude, I moved away and got the fuck out of like West Virginia when I was like 17, 18, and then I didn't go back for so long, and now it's just like I don't want to. I mean, it's not like I moved far away. I live like 20 minutes from the fucking like border or whatever, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's like I don't. I guess. It's not so much California. It's just the people. Like it's friends and stuff like that. It gets to me. It gets to me because it's just it's just a lot of things. It's a lot of things. It's not a
Yeah, yeah,
it's not a
yeah. No, I know, and like it's not something. And look, I'm far from fucking normal, like, and I'm far from like living like the happiest, like most like non-trauma filled life. So when I talk about me, like, and I also know that like the way I view the world is far different than like the way most people want to view the world and shit. So yeah, don't use like, and I'm not even just talking to you. I'm talking to everybody. Don't like listen to what I say and think that like it's a good way to like do things either, because like I I live fuck like less than a half hour, 40 minutes from my family, and I haven't talked to them or seen them in, let's see, the tiny terrorist just turned 3. So yeah, probably about 3 years to the day. So
I see. Yeah, I get it. No, like, yeah, man. I don't know. I guess it's just like so many things have happened, and they happen so fast. Like and dude, like I'm busy. Like this is something that like where I think a lot of people don't understand. Like last year I wasn't. Last year I was like fucking like almost stagnant in the things that I wasn't doing much, and now I'm like nonstop. My schedule is taken up by something. I'm surprised. I even have moments where I could go to sleep for more than 4 hours. Like it's like things are just happening nonstop, consistent. And like yesterday, uh, uh I scheduled that. I scheduled that to come on with Josh, and I was like, cool. I'm gonna have some time for myself, and I'm gonna be able to like do this live stream with Josh that I've been wanting to do for a while. And
heavy
like,
dick.
huh?
Sorry, I just can't see Richard without talking about how heavy his fucking dick is. And
Yeah. Well, like, and I was so, like, like I wanted to have everything done at work so that I can have that stream without any interruptions whatsoever. And then what did I forgot some things early on that I had to do. So I'm like, you know what? That's why I let you guys go for that first hour, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go take care of those things, and then come back and then have my stream and be cool. And I thought I was cool, man. And then I did the most dumbest thing I could do. I brought home keys that they need over there. And that's why I had to take off, because I was like, oh fuck. I was like, I can't believe I did that shit. But that's what's been going on with me in a nutshell. It's like I can't I can't nonstop, like, stop doing things. Like it's like work and all this shit. And then when I finally have time to like think for myself and have like time to like, give a chance to like just sit back, have a smoke, drink something or whatever. It all goes to the feelings of home.
Right, and it's like I like when it's tough because like our oppressors demand so much from us, give us so little in return. But I just want to I got something thrown up there. It's highest priestess comment shit. How can someone not spend time with their children or grandchildren? Fuck. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just know it's 3 years because that's when the baby was born. But leading up to that, like honestly, I think maybe, and to include like times we talked on the phone, uh, 2 years leading up to that, 3 times, and I was living at my family, like at my parents' house during my divorce. Um, like basically like was days away from killing myself. My family saw like didn't even fucking bat an eye. And when I say basically, I mean like in all literal like ways of speaking. And then a stranger like inserted themselves into my life and was like, "Hey, are you all right? Like I see you like all the time. You haven't had your son. Like uh you just have this dark aura around you, like." And I tried to blow it off and I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm good." And they literally like closed the store they were working at to like just follow me and like make sure that like shit was good. And we've been together ever since, like haven't spent like any time apart. And this is 11 years now. So, but I have an older sister. She's like an addict, and I don't think she's ever actually. She's like a Kaiser without like. I guess she would just get better version of Kaiser because she doesn't have a record. So I don't know, or a murder that I know of, but that's not saying too much. And uh, while I was away at the army, she was like really good at like gaslighting my family and like driving a wedge. And then shit was cool. While I was there, all depressed and shit. She's got 5 kids. Still lives at home with my parents. Is mid 40s, and so yeah. She was extremely threatened by like this new person in my life, so she completely turned my family away from me. And then, well, not even like I chose to be happy. Like, I mean, they would still answer if I wanted to call, and like, but it's I'm not trying to just like deal with any of that bullshit. So, the last time I invited them out, it was right after the baby was born. And honestly, I think the only reason they came is because they were like hoping that what my sister had told them and that it wasn't my kid was true.
Wow.
And that's the only reason they came.
Wow.
And and then like when they saw that that's not the case, and so then holding my, because it was in the peak of COVID that she was born. So I like we went and I wasn't even allowed to like leave the hospital. Like you couldn't go outside to smoke. And then like if you left the maternity like floor, you weren't allowed entered back in. Like COVID was so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And so then like I want to say, and that, so you would think, 3 days in the hospital, and that like they would be at my house, waiting to see like the newest addition to the family. Or hell, you might even think that like for those 3 days, they would come to my house and watch my other kids help out, take care of my dogs. But you would be mistaken.
I see.
I think it was about 3 weeks, and then they finally showed up. And then as like my mom's like holding her on my back porch, they didn't even come in the house.
Wow.
Yeah, like didn't bring an outfit, box of diapers, nothing. And like I'm not complaining. I mean, I was surprised, but like I shouldn't have been. And then basically like while looking directly like at my daughter, accused my wife of like ripping the family apart. And I was like, get the fuck out. Like, give me my daughter, go. Like, I'm done. You're not going to do this. Like, you're not. She didn't do anything except save your son's fucking life. And if y'all can't fucking see that and at least respect that, I basically take it as y'all wanted me dead anyway. So get fucked. Sorry, it's fucking windy. I can hear it. I don't know if it's like creating a fuck ton of background noise.
It's not as bad as I've heard in other places, but no, it's good.
It's not as bad as I've heard in other places. What a fucking backhanded compliment.
I'm being real. It's true. Like, I've heard other, like, not you specifically, but I've heard other people, like, when they come in with wind, it's like, oh shit, like I can't hear nothing but wind. You know what I mean? Like I do hear it, like in the background, I can hear it when you're talking, but it's not like, oh my god, like like it's so annoying that I can't even I heard everything you were saying, like like as a matter of fact, it actually kind of made me feel better. Not that your situation doesn't suck or anything, and I'm not saying that I'm living a better life. It's just that it puts in perspective, like like at least like I know that I'm not the only one missing me. You know what I mean? Like it's like a mutual thing. There's friends that miss me over there and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like I mean, Josh says it like he'll talk about it and shit, and he'll be like, man, like Jeff and like going through some shit, but everyone's going through shit. It's just like how you deal with the like piss that's hitting the top of your head, and how you like handle pretending it's raining is like also how well you manage to like I guess survive, for lack of a better,
Yeah, because it's true. It's true. There's so many things that are happening around people at any given moment that you just don't know. You know what I mean? And for somebody to like weather that storm or to like go through it and just keep moving through life, it's not easy. Like it's a good thing when we can talk about it and at the same time like understand each other, because I think that one thing, especially YouTubers get away from it. Like it's like, how personal do you get, right? Like how much you share, like and how much of it is going to be used as like, oh well, you're trying to do this or you're trying to do that.
Well, not even just that, but like everything you say, like I don't talk about anything that's like current in my life, and there's not really a lot of like current like drama in my life really, but anything that you talk about will be used against you by your detractors. So that's also another part.
It's true. No, you're right. Now that we're all set here,
right?
Yeah, it will. Now that we're here, just to recap the week here, because really this was what this live was about putting everything together as far as like the week was concerned, and I'm looking okay.
There we go.
The week has been kind of I don't know. It's been eventful. We've had the new Turtle. Did you guys finish watching the whole thing, the whole video, or did you guys stop it?
I don't know. Yeah, I think we made it all the way through. I don't know. It was like just genocide. genocide, racism, genocide. I mean, it's a total video.
Yes, you know what that sounds? That sounds like an old, like one of those like early like past the mid 2000s like Gucci Man, Gucci. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do actually.
Genocide.
Bars.
Well, yeah. That you guys got through it. I still haven't seen that whole new video. I haven't seen it the whole way through. So we had that, and then of course Kaiser.
Oh, you didn't see the offer where he said he'd give you $400 to $500 to plant a big old gay kiss on his fucking fuckhole?
I think I only saw that on the thumbnail you made, which I thought was hilarious. He's, I don't know, man. He's just a weird dude. He's just a weird dude. There's nothing more to that. There's nothing more to that. It's like you can't. You're not gonna make anything more out of Toto. He's just a weirdo who sits there and pretends he's a tough guy to nobody. It's like he has all this stuff like, you know, like, oh, come and get me, but dude, it's like, if you're so badass, like, go and get somebody, you know what I mean? Like, go and get them.
They have to be in the state of Ohio. That's why.
I'm not that stupid. You better come to Ohio. Like, okay, bro.
I think he's like got to do that as part of like his probation. He's got to get people to like, because once you like get in Ohio, you're pretty much stuck there with like your some type of crippling addiction. So,
you
like,
you think he's doing drugs?
That's no. I mean, he's like, as he would say, he's big into AA, but like, I'm just saying, like, and I mean, I don't know, like, what his sentence was on that DUI or how long, like, that type of shit happens. And if it's your first one, if you get, like, don't you end up getting probation for, like, a year or two? So I wasn't saying him. I'm just saying, like, people, if you spend, like, time in Ohio, like, Ohio's pretty, well, I mean, I live, like, rural Ohio, like, where he's at, and it's, like, a pretty like shitty, like the Oxycontin Highway and like
the Oxycontin Highway
or Oxycontin Express. It's basically where back before they like got the pill mill shit figured out in Florida, basically just a straight shot up like the East Coast and everything out like off those interstates turned into like they called it the Oxycontin Express, and it like just pretty much ruined everything.
I like. Could you explain? Could you like get into that a little bit more? Because I'm like curious. I never heard of this.
Oh, there's like a fuck ton of documentaries and shit about it online, but there used to be, and by used to be, I mean like within the last 10 years, it like you could go down to Florida and they had pill mills to where you would go into the, like, kind of, you know how you go to a dispensary, like in a state to where it's legal, like marijuana, and you go in one door to see the doctor. And then once you leave, like get your card there, you walk next door to the dispensary. Think of that, but instead of like a plant, you can get any, like you're leaving with more opiates than you could ever imagine, and all like you just pay cash. That's all. So like you could literally walk into the doctor, say your back hurt, and then they would give you a prescription. You'd walk next door and you'd leave with 60 Oxycontin and 6 times 30, 180 Roxys.
Wow.
And then on, you're saying wow, but like that's only part of it, because there wasn't like a system yet to where they could track, and like so like none of them communicated with anyone, and it was probably by fucking design this way. So then like you could drive up the block and go to the next one and do the same thing, and you could hit like 12 of them in a day. And then you jump on the Oxycontin fucking Express and take it up the East Coast and just deliver bags of poison.
Yeah, that's I'm looking at it in my like, and just like it so everybody understands, like, you know, like I when I got out of jail, and my first forays into trying to get like a regular job, because before that I worked as a security guard. I had nothing but jobs that you would need extensive background checks to be able to work in. I never had any problems with that. But now, you know, I have this felony, and I can't find even a regular job. Like getting a job like at the local 7-Eleven was a bitch. So
yeah, because they do a background check, and like, yeah, like Kaiser couldn't even work at McDonald's as a cashier.
Yeah, not with his steps. No, there's no way. But I ended up getting into weed and selling weed because of, well, first because I had a friend who was like a big pot grower, and he was already selling 2 medical dispensaries, and so I'm looking at, my brain is going into that thought of, like, you know, that type of selling, you know, where you have a like a wholesale, and you have to find your distributors and everything. And that you know, like, I could see how like that can be a fast moving, you know what I mean, type of way to get cash, and like quick and easy, you know. It's crazy, and it's probably become more intricate and a lot more, you know. I could see it developing so much just based on what you told me, just on that basic level. It's crazy.
Yeah, and like it was a very exploitable thing. I know when I like got, oh man, I like, my guy would like, so if I would run out early or whatever for the month before I had to go back to my appointment, my guy would have like multiple gallon Ziploc baggies just full of different different manufacturers of the same pill, like, and just he would walk out and fucking flop that thing down and like count out of, like, it was fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, I loved it then. Like, it was easy, it was cheap, like, and it was like, he wasn't special, you know what I mean? Like, that was the like lower level guy that you were going to go see. It's not like I knew the fucking boss of the area, because if you think about it, like, think about it as $1 a milligram. So if you're buying like a Roxy 30 milligram, each individual, like the size of a pencil eraser, is $30.
Mm-hmm.
A pretty expensive bag.
Yeah. It's a trip. It's a trip. It's a trip how these things, like, you know, develop themselves. I heard about it a lot. You know, like, of course, you know, like when you sell weed, especially like in California, it's like people open up to you about a lot of things. Like, you know, like you know, when it comes to like certain drugs that are out there, they tell you like, oh, like the you have all the discussions of like the.
Is there like a class like on like drug dealing?
I'm not trying. I'm not trying to give. I'm just letting everybody know. You know, like when you get into anything that has to do with like, you know, weed or pharmaceuticals, whatever it is, you get into this group of people that like to like talk to you about everything else. Like no matter how much you like try to avoid those conversations, they'll come to you and let you know. You know what I mean? And so like,
yeah,
I heard a lot about the pill stuff that was going on in the East Coast, but I never thought it was that crazy until I actually saw like younger people, like when I would have like my little vacations to like Vegas or whatever, and I would see younger guys who would have like the small grinders for the pills, like, you know, like they do the, and they're like, I'm all like,
tutor.
oh, what are you doing? like, oh, this is the best way to get the effect. And they're like, I'm like, oh, whoa, you know, like I thought that was the craziest shit I've ever seen. Like some kids just fucking putting, you know, oxys into like a grinder, just let me sniff it up my nose, like why?
Well, the grinders are for like old people and people who can't swallow pills. I get but yeah, it's yeah, it's like a really strange like thing that like big pharma.
Big pharma, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's just it's nuts. It's nuts. I just thought it was something like, wow, dude, I can't believe it.
Right.
You know, we do, but I think we lead in the way of making trends cool. Not we don't invent things, we just make them cool. That's the difference. That's the difference.
Everything except for rap nowadays. That is.
Oh, is that right? Now you know what? You know what? Rap. I don't think like, you know, like I think that like when rap got into Cali and stuff like that, and we made it funky. We made it fun. Like we gave it we gave the beats more of a more commercial feel. You know what I mean? Because I think before then, when it was coming from New York, which I don't knock, by the way, I absolutely like dig all the old like
New York's not it either, though. Now,
not
like
now. They're not
both the
not now.
coasts have lost it. Like,
Yeah, you know the East Coast been lost it.
wow, Jacksonville's pretty hot right now.
Victor T, what's up? How you doing?
Chicago. I mean, Dirk got a Grammy this year. Like,
Hey,
little.
Professor Crack, what's up, baby? Hold up, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Crack. You where you got time? I'm gonna drop a link for Professor Crack.
Cool, because like I actually gotta get going.
You gonna hit the road?
Well, yeah, just for a little bit, because I just doing some car stuff still, and I just want to make sure I got it figured out.
Did you choose a car?
I love how she like takes dad and mixes it with babe, like what she hears her mom call me, and she calls me Dave.
That's cute, man. That's cute.
So she'll be like dad, and then if I don't immediately respond, it turns to Dave, because she's like, oh well, he usually like he'll always run to what mom says, so Dave. But yeah,
that's funny, man.
But yeah, yeah, I gotta go. I'm gonna jump off of here. Ooh, the wind again. So I can make sure I got this shit figured out, you know?
All right, man. All right, well, go take it easy, man. I'll catch you on the next one.
All right, take it easy.
Awkward.
Oh no, not end.
There we go. What up, Professor, man? How you been, bro?
Hey, what's up,
Boot
bro?
me. Boot me.
Oh shit.
Hey, how you been, man?
Yeah, I've been good, man. I've been right
Wait,
here.
let me pause you on now that I'm on your show. Let me pause. All right, I was getting an echo there. Yeah, I see you're doing good, dude. I saw your channel, I don't know, last weekend, and I was like, holy shit, he's jumping.
Well, you know, well, somebody might tell you that I'm buying subs, but I promise you, I'm not. Don't listen to them.
All right, yeah, who gives a shit anyway. But no, you know, man. On top of that, I mean, you've been having guests, you've been having people in the chat, so there's, I mean, you can't say it's all just that.
Yeah, nah, dude, it's been something else. You know, and you know the journey, you know my journey. I don't have to go back and tell you the whole thing and everything. It's like it's been a roller coaster, and I just, you know, and it's like I was saying earlier about like, you know, the moniker and everything, the channel name and everything. It's kind of grown into me because it's like there's no substitute for being who you are. You know, like you are who you are, and you got to accept who you are. And once you do, you're just gonna have to go with it. And
Right.
that's what I've been doing. And so I know for a fact that that's not everybody's. I'm not gonna be everybody's cup of tea. I'm not gonna rub everybody the right way. But I'm gonna be true to myself. And so that's what I've been doing. And it feels good that I'm getting positive responses to it, and that I'm getting a lot of encouragement from people to keep going. And so that's been ultimately the thing that's kept me going, is that, like, you know, no matter what, it's I know that I'm going towards a positive direction and not a negative one.
Good. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I mean, when we were doing what we were doing, you always got good feedback. It was just, you know, that one thing that popped up, but nobody ever had anything to say about you as a show host or your takes or anything like that. It was always good feedback. So I'm not at all surprised, you know. We all go through shit. You just gotta work your way through it.
I like your setup back there. What you got back there, man? Look at
Yeah,
you.
let's see, some bullshit, you know. Macho Man, right? You can see that. This right here, this is some artwork that I made because I'm a very talented artist. You got the fist, the Joe Louis fist in Detroit.
Oh, all right. Let's
So
see
there's a couple things, you know. Yeah.
that.
Dick bag. Wait, he said, "Are you coming out, Jerry?"
I'm coming out. I want the world to know.
Oh man.
No. The Scotto, relax, Scotto, relax. No, dude. You know what? First of all, DP, I forgot that I'm mad at you. Don't come in here with your trying to make things friendly after completely blowing me off on your stream.
Oh
Dick
shit.
Bag, just like you know what? I think actually Dick Bag, he of course he didn't block me. Of course he didn't block me on you know, on his page. He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. But what he has done is that he's made it so that every time my little avatar comes on, he just looks away at the screen. Like, for some reason, he's nowhere near the screen whenever my messages come up. And you know, it's fine, DP. I get it. You know, why would you want to be associated with me? Why? I get it. I understand. You know,
Oh,
but
man.
you know, grow up, man. Grow
Oh,
up.
shit. Now the gloves come off. Yeah. So what's been going on in the whole in the scene lately? You know, I haven't done a whole lot. I'm actually trying to get back into it, but not as much on the kind of content we were doing. But I know
Well,
that's still out there.
I've if people want to put me in the category of anti-auditor, I can honestly say I'm no longer there. I've completely lost my my passion for going after them. I realized that it wasn't really a passion. It was more or less it was anger. It was a lot of me wanting to get back at people who had done somebody that I know wrong. And it really was just me being angry more than anything. And I didn't like that feeling. I didn't like the feeling that I wasn't being totally honest with my critique of them. There are people like the people that you go after, like Michigan, like Constitutional Warrior or whatever, who's completely a piece of shit. Like, you know, like that. I'm never gonna be cool with. But then there are people like Georgia Transparency that, come to find out, he is an actual combat veteran who has a lot of, you know, experience in the military. Now, I don't necessarily like the things that he does as an auditor, but that doesn't mean we get to dismiss him as a human being. And
Jerry, hold that thought. I'm really interested. 5 seconds. 5 seconds.
Oh, thanks a lot, Professor. Thanks. Hey, guys. Yeah. Unfortunately, yes, I had an interaction.
Sorry, man. I had a phone alarm going off, and I was trying not to get. My son's taking a nap. I didn't want him to wake up.
Okay. No, you're good.
But
You're
yeah,
good.
okay, so that's interesting though. So you kind of find yourself in the middle then. Like you wouldn't say pro auditor, you wouldn't say anti auditor, you would say it's case by case.
Yeah, and mostly because I took a step back to look at the whole of the picture, and auditors as a whole are a niche of a niche. They're a very small pocket of people, and they really don't affect as much as we like to believe it does. I think that the whole community as a whole, auditors, anti-auditors, if you put them all together, it's really a nasty, you know what I mean, cycle of people who need each other, which of course they're never going to get to saying like, oh, we need each other in order to make our content happen, right?
Mhm.
But it is that, and there are some things that anti-auditors do that I think are wrong as well, like, you know, when it comes to restreaming stuff that other auditors do, um being re-victimizing victims by putting up the same information that an auditor does based on the fact that an auditor did it first. There's a lot of like little things that like I wasn't really too cool with, and I didn't want to get into that. I think I ended up understanding why I admire people like Digbag, like Dummy Kruger. It's because their content doesn't focus on the interactions that happen inside of those moments. They more or less point out the things that are bad and then give you the understanding why. So I realized that I'll never do that. I'll never be that. Me, I have an opinion on them that is like, you know, fuck them for making a fucking grandma get pissed on a day where she should just be relaxing. And I think that the human side of me makes me not want to be a part of what they're doing. So it's like I don't like auditors. I don't like them. But I also think that if you're gonna speak out against them, you have to have like a certain set of morals and be responsible in the way you talk about them. So it's very, you know, like, yeah, it's a thing, you know, like like you have to be very specific and very responsible. So I don't think that I could ever do that in a way that isn't just opinion based or just me saying, you know, like they're a piece of shit. And so that's not going to get anywhere. That's not going to be satisfying towards the audience. So I say admire the ones that do it right. And whenever there's misinformation, like when they talked about Georgia Transparency, who, like I said, and you know, it's a disappointment that somebody like KFAR would fall into that trap of you know, just straight out calling them stolen valor and stuff like that when the man did his tours and did all the stuff that he had to do. You know, you got to be better than that, you know. So I don't like to be put in that category. I'm not an anti-auditor channel. I am a talk about anything channel, and
Mhm.
mostly talk about things that matter, especially towards the community that was in that. Because I think a lot of us are there. I don't think I'm alone. I think there's a lot of us are especially a lot of the people who are involved in those chats and stuff like that are in that mentality. Like, man, you know, like I'm starting to see things a little bit more, you know, like on both sides of the fence. It's not that I want to take up for the auditors, but I also don't like the position that the anti-auditors put me in. And so I think that I've always been a voice for what's going on in the chats. I've always been someone who speaks with the chats, you know, like, so if anything, I'm exactly where I think a lot of people are as far as that genre, that niche is concerned. Is like, you know, do we really have that much hatred for the things that these guys are doing? You talk about a guy like Chili who recently went to jail, and I think I think there's something different about somebody like him, and that he is he's a different character. He's not exactly what the auditors are, and we know this because it isn't about just about like, let me pull out my camera. The dude literally would jump into traffic stops. It's more outrageous, right? And so I think that there's something to say about what is going on in that community as far as like, you know, who are the people who are doing the right thing and who are not, and how much you want to be associated with it. And I don't. That's why I say that. So I see something from Dickbag.
Yeah, I saw that too, actually. So I was kind of curious. I was glad he put that comment, so because I was kind of curious to. I mean, Dickbag always really he was a chili channel, really.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if that's changed. I imagine it's. Um,
I think
I mean,
he's
I have
thinking
no
on the
idea,
Kaiser
really.
stuff. I think he's thinking on the Kaiser stuff too. I would say his number one subject on his channel would be chili, but I think his number 2 subject would be Kaiser. Now I'm hoping that Kaiser will take the lead on that someday. But you know,
Now, who's Kaiser? I don't know Kaiser. Who's Kaiser?
Oh, you don't know about Michael Kaiser? Friday Wrangler?
I really last September out. I started having real life stuff go on, and I don't watch the content really a whole lot, that kind of content, because I mean I was a big fan of it for like a year, and then for like 6-7 months I was so in it every day, consuming so much of it to make content myself, that I once I stopped doing that, I just wanted a break from it all, And there's so much out on YouTube that once you go down a rabbit hole,
Yeah,
um,
yeah. Mike, you know Friday Wrangler, right? You heard about that?
yeah. I left right around the time. One of my first things I did on camera was to talk about him.
Yeah. Well, look. It turns out there's more to that story than just the stolen valor. Now, brace yourself, because there's a lot of information to give. Number one, not only did he not serve in the military, which is already egregious in the fact that
he didn't serve at all.
At all. At all.
I didn't know that. I thought he just it embellished the service. I didn't realize he didn't.
He didn't serve, and no, hang on, because this is gonna get more interesting and more crazy than you think. Because not only did he not serve, he failed basic training not once, but twice. Okay, so not only did he not serve, but he could not make the cut 2 times. So that's just and that I could say is the lowest level of the egregiousness that comes with this guy, because
there are people who maybe just can't handle it, and that doesn't make them a scumbag. It just means they're not cut out for military service. The problem comes in when you can't handle it, but you tell people that you've been medvaced out of combat for your country, right? That's the problem. Not that if he had just been honest and said to people, hey, I wanted to be in the military, but I couldn't even make it through basic training, that would actually be admirable, because that would be embarrassing to admit. So it would take some strength.
Dude, I have said that a bunch of times over. Like I've said that in a bunch of like different streams and chats, where it's like, if the dude would have just said, hey, I failed basic training twice, that's a story. That's like a whole thing upon itself. Like I of course it's embarrassing a little bit. Like you might feel a little shame for talking about it, but eventually you can laugh at it, right? You can. It's like when I tell people when I went to jail. When I went to jail, it's not nothing to fucking be like about or anything. I don't like really talking about it, but the truth is that it happened, and the more that I talk about it, the more it gets easier. Sometimes I even laugh at myself for getting into that in the first place. You know what I mean? Like,
you didn't know she was 10.
Shut up.
All right, that's my bad. That was all right. Go ahead.
That was a bad shit. That was really
bad. That was bad.
But yeah, no, dude. It's just a thing where it's like, why can't you just be honest about it, right? Just be honest about it. That was the whole thing. Now, that's not even the most egregious thing about it. Like, that's like minor. That's like the little thing, right? Now, this guy loves to talk about auditors and their crimes, and he likes to bring out their crimes, and he likes to dox them and put out information about the stuff that they do. But the guy has been convicted for 5 felonies. He's convicted. That means that he was not only found guilty, but he was found guilty 5 different times.
So now, I know he had open cases last fall. Is that what he got convicted
No.
of?
No,
Those
that
were
was
prior.
before.
Yeah.
He's been convicted 5 times before. He's got these other charges that haven't been adjudicated. He still hasn't. He still hasn't gotten convicted for those 5. And I think what makes that even more egregious is that they're all in the same level of criminal activity, where he got convicted of burglary, of stolen property, things like that. These are the same cases for what he is getting charged for in the new documents, right?
Yeah, right.
So it's like he hasn't learned a thing. This guy
Right.
hasn't changed his ways at all.
Right.
The only thing he's done is found a new way to scam people out of money. Like he tried to do it with the military service stuff, but he got called out. So he shut that down for a second. Now he's starting to get confident and talk about it again. So he does not care. This guy does
Wait,
not give a
He's
damn about.
talking about it as if it happened still.
Yeah, he still talks about it like it happens. Now, it's not as egregious, of course. It's not like when before anybody knew anything about him and he was talking about RPG stories and stuff like that. But he does still bring it up. He still brings it up. Like he'll say like, well, I used to be in charge of a unit, or like when I was in charge of like men in the military. Like, you know what I mean? He doesn't say specific things anymore, but he still brings it up because he knows that if he says anything too specific, it's going to be called out.
Wow. That was the thing too that did disappoint me about the anti-frauditors. Just the whole idea that I don't care if he is a murderer and if he stole valor, he doesn't like frauditors, so I'm still, that's all that matters to me. And it's like, how do you put harassing people with a phone as somehow like worse than like stealing valor and robbing and killing people? Like, I mean, they're all bad, but I have a harder problem defending someone who lies about military service and continues to rob people than I do. I don't know, man. It just, I didn't get it.
And
I don't know why people support him.
And this is where we're at. You know what I mean? Of course, my dudes, Stone Vet, Dirty Hippie, Master Sergeant retired, Jeff, all these military guys who have come out to speak out against him have, done a great job of not only exposing him for the fucking lies that he's put out there for the military, but have, like talked about all of this stuff that's been going on. So it has put pressure on the anti-auditor community to choose sides. Now, as a whole for the community, I'm with you on the disappointment. I'm 100% with you on the disappointment. I think Frauditor Troll did what he had to do as far as somebody who brought him out. I don't give any there is no heat on that guy for that, because I think he did what he had to do. People asked him about it. He put him out in the forefront for it. He put Dickbag in a position that Dickbag could actually ask him the questions that cornered him.
Yeah, Troll buried him on that live stream. He didn't do anything wrong.
No, yeah, exactly. But
I mean, initially he put him on, but at that point, who knew? You can't blame him for.
Yeah, but as far as like the rest, like and that's why I wanted to preference that, because I didn't want when I say, like as a whole, I don't want people to throw in like Frauditor Troll or people like Dickbag on there. Dummy Kruger too. Dummy Kruger, when he was asked directly, I was on one of his first live streams and I asked him directly about Kaiser. He called him a piece of shit. You know what I mean? There are examples.
Kaiser's not Wrangler?
Yes.
Oh, they're the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't pick up on that. I'm
glad you're tracking.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, but
I mean, if you can go back and look on my page, like I tried to be.
I think I saw your response, and I think you were trying to be diplomatic, because
I did try to be somewhat diplomatic, but I also have like come out and said, fuck that, fuck Fraud at Wrangler. Like, it's in print on my comments.
Yeah, I think I saw that. I
on
think
my
I saw
live
that.
my community chat or whatever.
Yeah, I think you were on the fuck Wrangler camp, but you also were like kind of just like already kind of like having a little bit of separation from a lot of things at that time. So it probably got lost in the mix. But I did see that, and I do validate what you say as far as like you're not being cool with them, because I think I would have I think I would have been more on top of like telling you more about it if I didn't see that, because like with people like you, Kfar, I think Dummy, I was really like talking in the background, I was like trying to let you guys know about what was going on, and I think I got a lot more pushback from Kfar than I did anybody else. Dummy Kruger,
You didn't get any
I mean,
pushback from me. I
no,
never,
no,
I
exactly.
never, I was diplomatic during a live stream as it was unfolding in real time and just trying to guide a civil discussion. But there was never any part of me really. I was like, the only thing I might have said was, I don't have a problem with Wrangler personally because like we don't have a relationship,
Right,
but I never condoned that shit.
right.
I don't. I immediately was upset with all the fans who were saying I don't care. I'm still like a fan of his because he doesn't like frauditors, and I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I never got that from you. I think because there are people, and I know that you came into especially the anti-auditor stuff. I know you came in really as like I don't want to say like you were late to the party. You were just your there was a lot of stuff that already had came out or happened as far as like that community is concerned, and when you came in, it was like deep into it, right? And so I think a lot of his supporters were looking for other people to support him because they wanted to cling on to that whole, oh, he's this anti-auditor that we love because he speaks out against them. So anybody who hadn't gone like the route of Dickbag or Dr. Dave or Fraud Troll, they were trying to put him in his camp. And in some ways I believe that it was his need to have people on his side, because he's always looking for validation. He's always looking for that validation beard to be, like for him to
exactly.
espouse his crap. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so uh I think that's why they did
You know,
that with you. I
I
never
actually, I think the hardest turning point for me was when I saw Dick Bag's video and I came out and said, you know what? Like, after watching Dick Bag's video, I should have been harder on him. Frankly, that's when I think I used the words "fuck fraud at Wrangler," because, like I said, there was I'm just try to be diplomatic by nature, and some of that does come from like journalism and wanting to like try to be like objective and just present facts and not get like too opinionated. But it's hard to do with these channels sometimes. So then again, yeah, Dickbag's video was so good that it made me kind of feel bad about my live stream, where even though I didn't in any way support him on it, and anyone can go back and watch that, but like I was like, yeah, I should have been harder. I should have been harder after watching Dick Bag's video. I was like, yeah, I should have been harder.
but you see, before Dick Bag's video, and we should really pin that as far as like the history of this like event happening. Before Dick Bag's video, I can understand people being diplomatic. I can understand people who wanted to hear both sides, because I look at it in the sense that like if I wasn't involved in it, right? If I didn't have like certain personal involvements, like being able to talk to K4, being able to talk to people that were in Wrangler's camp, and also him being a part of what I was doing at some point. I think about it, and I would say to myself, like, yeah, I would be like, give me the info first. Why do I need to take a side on this? Why should I just listen to one side that's coming at me hard because they want me to? You know what I mean? I wouldn't do that. I'd be like, let me hear both sides. So I absolutely get anybody before Dick Bag's video who would be very, very much on the fence on it. But anybody after that
Thank
video,
you, DP.
which was very well informed, uh no, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right,
I'm
right,
sorry,
yes,
no.
right. You know, I was just looking and I see I did a poll. My opinion, Dick Bag Patrol's video on fraud at Wrangler was a work of art. What do you think? 82 people voted, 82% said work of art, 18% is a pile of shit, which I put as a possibility. But like, come on, at least we can say 8 out of 10 people are able to watch that video and say, yeah, Dickbag nailed it. So Kfar has no. So is Kfar still down with old Kaiser then?
He's not gonna say in a public way, but it's an obvious thing because like I said, Kaiser has completely lost a lot of support as far as like other people in the community are concerned, and they don't wish to associate with him. Like I said, Dummy Kruger came out and said that he's a piece of shit. He's a stolen valor piece of shit. He's a thief.
And Dummy's even more diplomatic than me.
Yeah, and he did not hesitate, and I love Dummy for that because it was like again, for people who don't know or are not privy to it, people like Dummy Kruger and people like Professor Crack over here, DP. I have conversations with them in the background. I actually do. I have communications with them, and they talk to me, and we when they get a chance, they talk to me back and stuff like that. Dummy Kruger was listening the whole time. He was on it. He's very smart in the way he runs his channel. He doesn't like it to be all over the place. He knows his audience and he caters to it. But he's not wishing to be more than what he's showing. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to be, he's not trying to go after, people like that. He doesn't want to start drama, but he's listening. Right. And I was relaying all the information to him. So when he made his live stream, he told me, like, dude, I want the question asked. I want people to know my opinion on it. And I went on there specifically to give him the question because he wanted it. He wanted to give the opinion on that. But of course, he didn't want to make it an attack or anything like that. He wanted to make it, so that people understand his stance on it. And he put it out there and he was honest. That's exactly how he felt. Dude, I love him for that. Like I said, he's Dummy is just one of those dudes that's like that. He's here to do what he wants to. He wants to make videos where he's making fun of people that he thinks are dumb. He's not trying to hurt them. He's not trying to create some sort of like campaign to have them off the internet or anything like that. All he's doing is putting out the information that makes them wrong, and he puts out facts and has fun with it. That's it. That's all he wants to do. And at the same time, he's a fan.
Dummy, I think his channel does as well as it does. Is he probably has the healthiest relationship with this whole phenomenon of any creator, right? Like he keeps it in perspective. It's a channel he started to do for whatever reason, but you can tell it's not consumed him, right? Like he's still a grounded person. I feel when I talk to him less now that I don't do as much on my own channel, but I always felt like Dummy was the most grounded, and that always comes through. So
yeah, I think the biggest understanding I got from Dummy Kruger was that when he talked to me about like his family life and about his home life and stuff like that, I'm like, dude, this guy is so well grounded. Like he is really one of the best people on the internet, and I say that without any qualms. Like he's just like a really, really good guy, like honestly, and you're never gonna see more than what he shows you because he likes his life outside of the internet and he lives it. So yeah, like I'm glad that I know him. I'm glad I can literally I feel very, very good that I'm able to call him a friend, and he's a good person. Like that's just the way it is. Yeah. Now I was telling you about that, and then okay, so like I said, he's got the 5 felonies that he still has to see court for, and then of course there's the big one, the indictment, the murder indictment. The murder indictment is a real thing. The murder indictment is a real thing. He actually was indicted for murder. They went to a grand jury and they said that he should be brought up on charges. Now the reason why the charges were dropped weren't because of some kind of innocence or anything that came up that made him look innocent. It's just paperwork thing. It's just a thing where and if
the homicide charge was dropped.
Yeah, it was dropped. It was dropped. It wasn't dropped. It wasn't dropped with prejudice. Although I think it was at first, but it wasn't dropped with prejudice. It was dropped because of some just some paperwork stuff, political stuff. If you see shit happens, a video on it, she gets into a little bit more detail about it. The information's out there about it, but it's not. It had nothing to do with the case itself, because the case facts. If you look at the case facts, and I give anybody the challenge of going into those case facts and then asking yourself, if you went into a room with 11 other people to make a decision on whether this guy should face charges, I don't see how anybody doesn't say he needs to face charges for it. Because just looking at the case facts as they are, it just makes sense why he's the only suspect in that murder. It just makes sense. Like it's yeah, exactly. And he's the only suspect. There is no other suspect. Now, I'll give you the details of it, but of course, I wouldn't ask you to just take me on my word for it. There are, like I said, go to Shiz Happens. She has all the proper links, everything where you can go and look all this information up. First of all, we could start off with the person himself that he murdered, Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. He was a former military guy, a former Marine combat veteran. He lived the life that Kaiser wanted to live. He exactly is what Kaiser pretends to be. And Kaiser, this guy was one of Kaiser's neighbors. Like, he lived down the street of Kaiser, okay? And Kaiser, throughout the time that he was on, when people did not know anything about him, would always espouse this story of a battle buddy that he had. He would call him Michael Kaiser, of course. He wouldn't call him Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. He would call him Michael Kaiser, and how he died next to him or whatever, and how this guy was his battle buddy that died, and he honors him all the time. Okay, so to me, that's already like one little like suspicious thing to bring up, right? That's one little thing. Like, if you're thinking about it, the context of what happened. Now, Kaiser's been convicted of being a burglar, of breaking into people's houses, breaking into his job, and stealing things. This is something that he's known to do. Now, since he knows how to do this, or this is the thing that he likes to do it as far as his criminal behavior is concerned, how did Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. get murdered, right? Somebody broke into his house. Right? Somebody broke into his house and stole his guns and stole his PS3. All right? So,
Talk
Michael
about
Kaiser,
shit, his PS3.
yeah. So, Michael Kaiser, the convicted felon for burglarizing people, who pretends to be a combat military veteran, went into a combat military veteran's house, broke in and stole guns and a PS3. That's too many. That's too many matching factors there. Just that alone. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me add a little bit more to that for you. After Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. is found murdered in his home, the detectives start putting stuff together, and they go to Michael Kaiser's house. What do they find there? Not only do they find stolen weapons from other places, but they find Donald Atwater Cameron Jr.'s PS3 inside of his house, connected to Michael Kaiser's home network. Now, I'm sorry, but if that's not the smoking gun in any case, if you're talking about everything if that's not it right there, I don't know what is. But you know what? Fine. Let's say that there has to be more to that. But to me, those factors alone puts him as the only person who could have committed that murder. I mean, who else, right? Like, right. Oh, you're gonna tell me that he had an accomplice, somebody went with them. Michael Kaiser is not known for breaking in with people. He does it on his own. It's too much. It's too obvious. And
how much of a dumb motherfucker do you have to be to murder someone, take their PlayStation, and then hook it up to the internet in your home? It's
Yeah,
like you don't understand like the prints we all leave all over uh, the internet. Not fingerprints, but we leave, metaphorically speaking, fingerprints all over the internet. And a PS3, like, it has a serial number like anything else. And I mean, god damn, that's dumb. That
yeah,
is really dumb.
and throughout the thing, which is like, like throughout all of this stuff, like um you go back and you hear things that he talks about. He talks there's a famous post he left on Shiz's on like a comment that he made on Shiz's community post, where he talks about, oh, people don't know what it's like to kill another person. He talks about how seeing somebody get shot in the head is not what you think it is, or it looks, it's not what you think it's going to look like. Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. was shot in the head.
Mhm.
He never went to combat, so how would he know how would he know what it's like to take
That
somebody's
would be
life?
yeah. Once you take that combat story away, that what else would
Yeah,
it be?
it's there's so many things that like that it once you get into the deep dive of that story, you realize that you're looking at a murder burglar who's getting away with not only disrespecting every single combat veteran that's out there by putting his face in front of the camera and saying that, oh, I led men and this and that, but he's spitting in the face and being absolutely egregious and like laughing at the people who care about and who still mourn the death of Donald Atwater Cameron Jr.
And that's why, and like after you laid it all out like you did, that's why it just perplexed me when people would be like, well, but he doesn't like frauditors, so I'm with him because he doesn't like them. It's like, he's a fucking sociopath. He's a murderer. He's a liar. Who cares if you share a single piece of ideology with him? That's enough for you to overlook all the other shit?
Yeah. Like with Josh Stone Veteran, we've had conversations where like we try to talk
funny,
about
dude.
this. Huh?
He's funny. I mean, when when that was happening, he would crack me up.
He's a good guy, man. He's
Else.
I actually, like there are people that I would like for you to like to get to know. I mean, Jeff was one of them. Because I know your story and I know their stories, and I know you guys would get along. But yeah, like we've talked about the psychology of these people, like the people who follow him, and sometimes I wonder if it's kind of like a cultish thing where they seek just like he wants their validation, they seek his because of some sort of recognition. You think about people like Vestige of Peace, who is over there, Southern Pokey, a couple other guys who I know.
The Peace might have been one that was in my comments giving me shit. Yeah, he had a few people that, a few of his trolls descend on me because I had announced ahead of time I was going to do it, and that whole issue was popping. So anything pertaining to it, people were paying attention to. That channel name rings a bell. Yeah.
Well, she was out there writing novels to everybody. Dickbag has a whole video on her, so you should check that out. You should check that out when you get the chance. Dickbag has a whole thing on her. Okay. She was just writing things to people. At one point, because like I started information gathering myself. I really wanted to get deep into the weeds as far as like what these people were thinking. So I decided to have some conversations with her, some back and forth conversations, just to see what she would give me. And I was just like, man, this lady seriously just wants people to hear her. Like, she just wants people to she wants somebody to acknowledge her existence. She does not care about anything that she's talking about. The only thing she wants is for somebody to hear her out. And I think that's what Kaiser does. He gets people who are lonely, who have like, issues that they, it's more than just like, oh, I'm mad at an auditor. It's like, I'm mad at society. I'm mad at people for shunning me.
I'm mad at the world.
I'm not a part of like regular society. So I'm living here alone in my computer, and the only thing I got is this window to the world. And so auditors can be the biggest enemy in the world to you if that's all you see, right? If you're living in this square right here and there's nothing else, there's nothing else in the world to see, and auditors are what you see I can understand why they would be your biggest enemy. But when you live outside of this, when you have a job outside, when you do other things, when you're not here, it's not that big. Hell, how often has anybody ever run into an auditor? To be honest, I mean, seriously, like we talk about there's millions of views out there, millions of subscribers and stuff like that. How many actually ran into an auditor ever in their life? You know what I mean? Hardly ever. And
sure. Yeah.
And the people, the people who have, you know, may have a small vendetta against them, but mostly because the guys are assholes. But I get that. The people who have never seen it, who are not invested in it that way, you know, I think Ventures of Pieces are from Canada, I think too. It's like I don't get it. You know what I mean? But as I slowly start to like unwrap that psychology, I start understanding, you know what? It's more. It's more than just, you know, I have a hatred for others. I have a hatred for the people who don't accept me. I have a hatred for what everybody is keeping me away from, which is my, according to her, big hugs, right? I don't think she's felt a real hug in a long time. Honestly, it's sad. It's a sad thing. I feel bad for her. I really hope that like you know, she gets out to get some sun. Like I tell anybody who I see who like is losing their mind on the internet, I say, turn it off, walk outside, go feel the sun in your face, go take a walk, go to the park, you know, go sit on a park bench. If you're lonely, if you're by yourself and you feel like, man, I can't ever get any type of human interaction, go find humans. They're out there.
They're everywhere.
Stop sitting down on the computer and pretending like there's nobody out there for you to talk to. Go outside. Stop being an asshole. Like, you know, like stop trying to fucking dox people and find information and shit like that. Go outside. Go find the person. Say hello to them. People will say hello back. There are nice people out there. Stop it. And that's, I think this is what we're talking about when it comes to his supporters, is people who are just drenched and caved, and they don't understand why they can't have this validation that they get from him, from other people. And so they think it's real. When Michael Kaiser is nothing but an opportunist, he's nothing but a criminal. The only thing he wants more than anything is for you to help him create more ways to scam people, to hurt people. That's all he cares about. That's it. That's everything for him.
Yeah. I think it's pretty easy to peg him, but what are you going to do? Some people just like the Kool-Aid, right? I see the cult comments in there, and it's like, you know, they may joke about it, but I mean, that's what you have to do, right? If you're a cult leader, you have to like be like, oh, haha, lean into it, say, kind of go with the joke, try to be like, just lean into it and try to like make it your own, right? But
well, I mean, that's what a smart scammer does, right? You look at those those preachers, and that would be like the most comparable thing to it, right? You see like those preachers who are on the TV are like, God needs you to give me money, right? God, I need you to support me in this way because God told you to. I think that's the easiest way to do that, because it's like, you know, he's always going to say that he's got some sort of like he's championing some cause that you need to be a part of, and it's the only way to take down the bad guys. And you know, really, all you're doing is like supporting the worst of the worst of the bad guys. Like he is the ultimate bad guy. You know what I mean? Like, because it's like, you know, we could always defeat bad guys that are like in front of us that we know, you know, like based on societal rules. Hey, that guy's not good, right?
Oh no. Oh, is it true that Jerry is frozen, and do I have control of the show all myself now? I think you froze for a minute. I was about to hijack your whole show, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was my laptop.
No, I think my laptop shifted to the left a little bit, and so I lost the signal.
Oh, okay. I was gonna run with it. I was gonna totally hijacked the whole platform. So then, all right, forget that guy. Fuck that guy, right? What else? What else has kind of been happening? What else is topical?
Well, I mean, of course, you
Diddy?
know,
I know you used to live out in LA, so that means you must have hung out with Diddy a few times, even though he's from New York, right? But no, nevertheless, we know Diddy was in
this,
LA plenty. So
I am, you know, I have consumed that story in bites. I haven't taken it all at once. The reason being is that like these stories have been coming out a lot lately, right? The you know, you hear about the Nickelodeon guy, right? That Schneider guy, whatever his name is.
oh yeah.
You hear about the guy from Rick and Morty, right? And you hear about
I didn't hear
like
that
Louis
one.
C.K. and all of these things, you know, like, and so there are some examples of the stories that went too far too fast, right? And so you don't know what, once everything gets leveled off, what is the actual like amount of bad shit that actually happened and what was, you know, kind of like give and take. You know, I think Louis C.K. stuff
Yeah.
was
I
fair.
mean, Louis C.K. I think went too far too fast. I think that's an example, and it shows now that he's back and he's doing stand-up specials, and they're doing really well. And actually, what I've seen, they're funny. I think Diddy. I think this one, it's safe to say that this is not an overreaction by the media. I think he's probably a no good piece of shit, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm buying into the hype and
Well,
getting
that's
swept along with it.
what I mean. I'm consuming it, and it's such a very small bites because I'm like I don't want to go overboard and think, you know, like all these crazy things that they're talking about, because it's like I said, there's gonna be stories that are true and some that are not, and a lot of it makes sense in the context of things that I heard as far as like okay, I used to be a fan of the game, the rapper The Game. And The Game had a history with Diddy. Now there have been interviews that he's had like on Vlad TV and a couple other like you know, famous, you know, like interview shows and stuff like that, where he's talked about, you know, like his time with Diddy was nothing but partying. His time with Diddy was just like, you know, having fun or whatever. And you also hear other interviews with other artists and stuff like that where Diddy's just inviting them to parties. Diddy's like telling them like, oh, like it's not it's never about like, oh, I'm gonna work with you and stuff like that. It's like, oh, come to my house, we're gonna have a party, we're gonna do this, right? So I think to some degree some of that is true, and some of that it might be bad. But we're talking about a dude that like has been a millionaire for more than 20 years now. You know, like we're talking about a dude that has been living it up for a while, and his life has been nothing but craziness like that. So I mean, I you know, like we'll see what happens. I'm not gonna. I seriously don't wish to know more because like and I think so. Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
I mean, R. Kelly. Look, just so everybody knows, when all this stuff came out about R. Kelly, I swear I was one of his defenders. I didn't want to think that this guy was doing the crap that they were saying that he did, because I thought to myself, you know what? Why would he want to do all this stuff when he has all this money, he can have any woman he wants? Why? You know what I mean? But as I take because I'm taking therapy right now, and I talk to, like, I'm talking to a therapist about situations that happened with me and things that I've been through, and I think to myself, like, there's more to that, you know, like there's more to just being somebody who could just have anybody he wants, right? Like being somebody who likes women or doesn't like women or gay or whatever the fuck, right? It's there's more. There's more to that psychology. So that's where you know, like, having money, having power, having it becomes an extension of you. It becomes, you know, your everything gets manifested in a stronger way. So if you do have either predatory tendencies, or if you have like you know, trauma that has put you in a place that makes
well,
you want to fulfill that trauma into somebody else, which is like something that happens, you know what I mean? It's
yeah.
real.
Well, they say hurt people, right? So
Yeah.
it
So
happens, but
So I mean, I could see how that kind of stuff could like manifest in itself.
I can see how it can too, not to excuse it, but like most things make sense when you have all the facts, right? Like when you know all the facts, like you just were laying out facts in the story with um, Kaiser, it makes sense. Um, so the R. Kelly thing, I'm sure if you know his entire history, it makes sense. It doesn't make it right. With Diddy, I think it's more a matter of like power, and there's a lot of people
Thank you.
saying that. I don't think that's yeah, good to see you too, Dickbag. Um, yeah, I don't think I'm the only one to say that it's a power thing for Diddy. It's just and again, pointing out facts. The whole way that case with Cassie, what was that? A $30 million settlement that got settled in a
Mhm.
day.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
That's a fact. And who would give someone $30 million
Yeah,
for no reason?
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
and
The
that's just
goal
one
on
boy.
that
She's
is
not the only person speaking. There's a lot of people saying a lot of shit. So I think you're right to be like prudent and be cautious because yeah, people overreact so much in the media now, and then we all just go with it. I think that's generally wise.
yeah.
Um,
I think one of the better examples of that too, of that, like everything going to one side and then later on everybody just like wanting to take it back, is the whole Johnny Depp trial stuff. You know what I mean? Because it's like when you first hear about the stuff with Amber Heard, right, and all that stuff, it's like your mindset goes like, oh, here we go, another fucking movie star thinks he's the fucking shit and is fucking
yeah,
slapping around his poor girlfriend. You know,
yeah,
like
yeah,
you're
you're nailing it.
and so it's like you know, as much as like, and I believe it, like, you know, like when it comes to like all of those like different, you know, people talking about it, things coming out, how much of it is somebody just saying, you know what, I don't want to deal with it, I don't need this shit, here's 30 million, get the fuck out of my face, or it's somebody who's like, shut the fuck up, don't say nothing, you know, like stop it here, like please don't say anymore. I mean, where, you know, like where do those lines lay, you know what I mean? So you know, like that's why, like I just like when I started hearing about it, I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna let this play out. I'm not gonna, I don't want to share a big opinion on it. I don't want to put myself on one side or the other side for whatever reason. All I want to do is hear how it develops and what's gonna happen next. You know, like that's it. That's where I'm at with that. I really like it. I don't, trust me when I tell you, I also don't have any sympathy for Diddy in these cases. Even though I may say that, you know, I hope that it's not true, I don't have much sympathy for him because at the same time, you don't get into shit like that unless there is something there, right? You don't, these things are not coming out unless there's something happening that has put you in this place, in this situation. Because, like I said, these people have a lot of money. These people have a lot of money, a lot of power, a lot of things that are going on with them. It's like, how do you not, like, how do you not take care of every single angle? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's just something I don't get about that, and it just goes to show, like, you know, when you slight people, you know, and you're doing dirt, there's no honor amongst thieves. You know what I mean? It just isn't. You know, like it's not gonna bode well. You know, like if you're doing bad shit and you're not, you know, it's gonna come back to you. It's gonna
it
come back.
does. It does. It does. And I think what's weird about that is that's something I think almost everybody um, learns. It's a maturity thing. It's like with age, you kind of learn that what's done in the dark will come into light, right? You're there's only so many skeletons in the closet for most people because eventually people's dirt gets revealed. If you don't learn that soon enough, and you're somebody who has some major flaws, some predatory um, issues, and you don't do like the therapy and do the things you need to correct that, yeah, it'll destroy you for sure. Like, um, I know I learned that like just through like addiction, like all the little janky shit you do in order to get high that you think you got away with, but then one day it's like didn't get away with any of it, really. You know, everybody, if there's like a little detail here or there, or a story or a store that people don't know about, once they realize like who you are, they just imagine worse.
Right.
So you really don't get away with anything. You know, it takes a lot to rehabilitate yourself and your reputation. And I'm not just speaking about addiction. I'm just speaking like specifically at that point, but just whether you're Diddy or you're Louis C.K. or you're Amber Heard, right? Like Amber Heard, she didn't get a hold of her manipulative bullshit until it was put out in front of the whole world. I bet her ass is in some therapy now, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. Well, at
she's
least
got
you would hope so. At least you would hope.
at least you would hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, and she's never going to get
you know
cast
what?
in another movie. She's never going to be on another couch being interviewed, like until people can see some sort of authentic change.
I would say to anybody, like, you know, I'm a hood kid. You know, I grew up in South Central. Shit wasn't easy for me like that, and I dealt with a lot of shit on my own without a therapist, without professional help. I didn't. I did a lot of my own self therapy and stuff like that. And although, you know, like I could say that, you know, like I didn't go absolutely crazy or anything like that. I didn't lose my mind. Now that I am in professional help, now that I am in that, and I see a therapist and stuff like that, I kind of understand why you need to. And if you've been through shit where you feel like, and just like, you know, like if you're just, you know, somebody who, like, you know, like every day you go through your life, but there's that one thing that always gets to you, and it bothers you, and you wish you could talk to somebody about, but you just feel like you can't. I would say seek professional help for that. You know, like it really does help you. It really does put you in a better place. The disconnection of somebody who's not close to you, you could talk to, and they could understand it, and also give you these objective opinions that make you feel like, you know, okay, that makes sense. You know, like you can really start seeing things, you know, like in a different angle, that it puts you in a place that, you know, like you not only have to face yourself as far as like the thing that happened, but it also puts you in a place that you can like take accountability for it, and you feel better about it, because it's like it's so easy to put the blame on a bunch of things that are happening. Like I could easily be a shit person and be like, guys, I grew up in South Central, I was getting shot at, I was this fucking, you know, like nobody gave me a chance, you know, like shit like that. I could easily do that, but I'm taking the responsibility away from myself. I'm taking the agency that I have for myself and the things that I can do.
Oh,
Yeah.
now it sounds like you've been in some therapy. Now, I'm not saying it took therapy for you to learn that word, but I'm just saying agency shit. That's a heady word right there. The way you use that, I agree with what you're saying. I was just like, you really
It's
you're
real
putting
though.
it down right there.
It's real, man. Like, you know,
It
like
is.
my therapist is like, you know, like really put me like in a place where I have to face myself, because like I did do that a lot. I did do that. I did say, you know, like it's because of that I'm this, and
Mm.
and it's really
That was, for me, that's kind of was a mind fuck, because most people, again, going back to the hurt people, and your situation certainly had an impact on you. Most people who struggle with substance abuse have some trauma in their upbringing, their life somewhere, right? I didn't. I couldn't point to that. Like, not really. I mean, I'm so grateful for my family and for my like childhood, and you know, I wasn't like a rich kid or anything. We were middle class, but my dad provided everything for his family that he could, and we never went without feeling like fed and safe and having all of our needs met. So it was eye opening to me, I think, when I kind of started getting into recovery and meeting people, and I would have all the derelict behaviors and addiction stuff in common with them, but the root cause was usually kind of different. I felt like kind of an outlier, because I was like, man, I don't even know. Like, I just know that as soon as I hit a joint, I took to that shit like a fish to water. Like
Yeah.
the first drink, the first everything. I just loved it, and it changed my life. Um, but yeah, so the therapy, I hear you. I mean, it makes sense, but it was always a struggle for me because it was like I don't know always what to talk about. Like now, I can use therapy because there are things that like pressures in life and stresses that now that I'm on a different path and trying to do the right thing that like I struggle to cope with, and it's more useful to me in this incarnation of who I am than it actually was as someone early in recovery. Because I was just like, I don't know, man. I just like getting high. Like I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
And,
Right. Right. Yeah.
and I feel really bad for some of the things I did to exes or some of the ways I shortchanged my son. But you're supposed to feel bad when you do the shit I did. So like, I don't know.
Well, that's the thing, dude. Man. That's the thing is that like, um, I've always had like, I've always had a bit of guilt for shit that I do, and I think my thing was always like whenever I had guilt, it was justification, guilt justification. You know what I mean? Because it's like I never wanted to feel bad for the things that I did, but at the same time, it's like I wanted people to understand that the things that I did came because of other stuff that was happening. But there is no justification for doing shitty things. If you're doing bad behaviors and you're doing bad things, there really isn't. I mean, people can understand it. You could try to make it seem lesser of an egregious thing, but once you're in that bad mode, the only thing you can do is try to rectify it by apologizing, sincerely doing it, like really meaning it, uh giving it up to the person or the people that you hurt, and then hopefully they will accept it. If they don't, they don't. That's not for you to decide. That's not your
Right.
that's you can't make somebody accept your apology or try to make
Right.
them forgive you. You just can't. But what you can do is within yourself, start by forgiving yourself because you did something wrong and accepting that, then going to the person that you hurt, try to get them to understand that your point was never to hurt them, but you did, and you wish that you didn't, and then hope that they accept that apology. Then you guys can heal and move on. But if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen, and
Right.
and you got to move on anyways.
Right.
It's difficult. It's difficult to accept the crap that you do. It really is. It's very difficult. It's hard, but it happens. I mean, we're not perfect. We're humans. We make we make mistakes. We fuck up. And that's where the Michael, like, like the Kaiser stuff and everything, like really, like it really pisses me off because it's like he got convicted 5 times for doing burglary, and these other convictions are for burglary. How do people not see this? You know what I mean?
Right.
That's somebody who's not learning a thing. That's
Right.
somebody who's not trying to make themselves better. That's somebody who's living in his crap and enjoying it. He enjoys every minute of being in his crap. He loves this. He loves the fact that he's getting away with it. But I will say that the more he pretends to be a good person, the more it consumes his conscience. That's the one thing I could tell you that's happening. And I know it because I see his face. You can hide by words. You can lie by words. You can't hide by your face. His face looks miserable, but that's because he's not living the life that's real. I can tell you one thing. I've been trying to be the most honest person I could be when I'm up here, when I'm talking, when I'm here. I'm trying to be me in the most honest way I could possibly be. And it feels 100 times better than the first times I was coming on because I didn't want to show myself. I didn't want to be myself. And that's what I tell people all the time. Like, like when I first came on, I really didn't want to be me. I wanted to be something else, and so much work. It's so much work not to be yourself. It's a lot of work not to be yourself, because you're not only do you have to, create something that's not real, but you're trying to create something that other people will believe, and you don't know whether they will or not. And so you're constantly keeping that in check. Like, is this enough? Is that enough? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You just do what you do. You know what I mean? be who you are, and it just makes everything much easier. It makes your life easier. It makes you happier. I think I've been happier. I think I've had more fun, especially on my live streams and the other things that I've done here when I've just been me and not try to play up to anybody's expectations.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. You know, it's funny because I know you just recently, I saw the video where, like, you came on camera for the first time, right?
Yeah.
And that was probably really like you had already probably been for a while now, being yourself, right? Like you had found that place, and instead of like trying to be what you thought YouTube wanted you to be, or trying to be someone you admired on YouTube, you kind of found that sweet spot of who you were. But that was probably the last piece of it, right? Like, not because now you're fully out there.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
cool.
that was it. That was it. And you know, uh thanks, mechanics. You're dope. Um the thing is that like and I'm sharing this outside of like, you know, my therapist tells me not to share anything that we share, but I want to because I, I talked about it with him. We I was telling him like, you know, I do the YouTube stuff. I don't know if he's ever seen anything that I put out there, by the way. I just told him that I did. And I told him, dude, I haven't gone on camera and people want me to, or I feel like it's part of like, you know, me, you know, showing myself or whatever. And he's like, do you want to? And I'm all like, I do, but I'm afraid to, you know, like I'm afraid, you know, like of like what people are gonna see, you know, like when they see me or whatever. And he's all like, you've been expressing yourself, like, you know, you've been showing people who you are. It's just a picture, dude. It's just a fucking picture. Like, you stop it. You know what I mean? Like, and I was like, you know what? You're right. It is. There's no reason. There's no reason to be scared. There's no reason to be worried. You know what I mean? I am who I am. You know, like just like my opinions are what they are. I'm not gonna change the way I look. It's gonna be who I am, and that's it. You know what I mean? Just show yourself. And so that's why I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it. And I did it. And by the way, everybody, I made sure I got a haircut and everything before I did it. Okay, no transparency completed. Okay, I wasn't gonna come on when I was all like raggedy and shit. Okay, just letting you know. So yes, I put my best foot forward when I did it. All right. So my first time, I was putting my best foot forward out there. But yeah, you know, it was a thing, and I'm glad, and I'm still getting used to it. I'm still very much getting used to it being on camera. Like, my eyes try to avoid looking at myself. That's why I'm kind of glad sometimes when I have somebody on this side, because like my eyes are doing this thing where like I don't want to see me. So I'm getting used to that.
Sure. Well, how long have you been in therapy?
I've been doing it now for like the last 2-3 months, I think.
Okay.
Like 3 months.
That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, that's good, man. It sounds like it's already helped a lot.
Well, my sessions have been well, my therapist who's they recommended me him because he has longer sessions, like in between longer periods of time. Other ones are more like, you know, within like a certain time frames or whatever, but I didn't want that. I didn't want to be so attached to that kind of a schedule, because the type of work that I do right now, it has me. Even yesterday, that was supposed to be my day off, I ended up going back to work. So
What?
I
That's cool.
needed something that was gonna be more like, you know, hey, you know, like we're gonna sit down and have a long session or whatever. So this guy, you know, like we have very long sessions, and then he records them, he comes back to me, and then like the next session that we have will be like 2 days later, and he'll have like just a whole bunch of stuff for me. And when I think he's not gonna have anything, he has a lot. And he's giving me a lot of feedback. He's giving me a lot of like just been mindful of the things that I've told him. Been very he's dug into something, and we're talking about something that happened to me when I was younger, and we're going through it. And so I think that's good. I think that's probably been the most revealing thing. I don't necessarily want to talk about it here. I think it's something that I should talk about. I think it's
When you're
something that,
ready, right?
yeah, yeah. But it will happen eventually. I just like I have to learn more about it, because I just wasn't aware of how much damage something like that does. It's just it's something that, like, you know, when you look at it in retrospect, and at the moment in time when things like that happen, your mind does not think trauma, it does not think damage, it doesn't think that anything's bad is happening. You honestly think that those are good things that are happening. And then when you start keying into it, especially like how I have lately, it's really like it's really opened my mind up to things that I never thought uh were factors in my life until now, you know. So it's it's still a work in progress. I'm definitely not ready to talk about it, but when the time comes, I definitely will, because it's important. I think it's important. I think people should know stuff, things like that happen. I think it would inform and make things better for, like, people who are, I think, maybe probably dealing with stuff like that now. Because like I said, it's something that can easily be looked at as someone being fortunate to have something like that happen, you know. That's about as close as I can get to without actually saying what happened.
Yeah. Right on, right on. No, I can tell you're in a much better place than you were last summer. You know, so that's good. That's good, man.
It's crazy too. Like, that's the other thing too, that, like, I was telling Josh Stonevet, I was telling him that there is a bit of anxiety that comes to me with all the good stuff that's been happening, because, like, um like last year last year I was doing so bad, and then, like, you know, like, everything flips, and
Right?
at any moment it feels like that someone will pull the rug under me, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It
but you know, and it can happen. Like it can happen to anyone, right? But um, you know, you doing the things you're doing makes it less likely to happen. So um, yeah, try not to live from a place of fear and worry, and that's hard to do. But uh, just keep doing what you're doing and have faith that it'll be all right.
yeah, yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Sorry, excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. I'm just like, I've been an emotional roller coaster the past few days.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, it's
right
hard.
on. Any like uh I don't want to like ask you, put you on the spot with any questions. Is it something going on, or just like the therapy, or
No, no, no. Like I said, I'm just, I just have a lot of homesickness, a lot of anxiety.
mm,
But I'm working on it. I'm dealing with it. The more, of course, the more conversation you have about it, the more you live in it, the more the emotions are gonna get pushed to the forefront. One of the things that my therapist told me is, like, you didn't cry a lot when you were younger. I'm like, I really didn't. He's all like, you're making up for lost time. Uh, uh, so I'm really I'm really getting in tune with that. I'm really getting in tune with that. So the emotions push. But I'm getting better at it. It's not all just sadness. It's a lot of things. It's a lot of things. And yeah, I'm not afraid to show them. I'm not
yeah,
afraid to.
yeah. Why should you be? You know, and the homesickness thing makes complete sense too. Complete sense. That would be hard. I've always been in Michigan, so I know if I were to move out of state, I would go through that. Although I think I do want to move out of state someday. I think I'll have a lot of homesickness if the day comes that I do.
Yeah, I just and when I say homesickness, it's I don't I don't think it's so much California, but it is friends. And I get I guess I guess the thing that really like hit me is that I had a friend who just passed away. And so it just all comes flooding through. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks you, Angel. You're awesome. Thank you. Yeah, but yeah, sorry. It's just like I said, I'm working with it. I'm getting better. I hope that someday I can talk about these things without without like just having this happen. But
Yeah, you will be able to. It gets easier. I was gonna say what Ask Andrea did. Home is where your heart is, right? So yeah, it's not a geographical location. It is the people. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure. Like you get comfortable in a geographical location and you miss certain places that you would eat at or whatever. But it's really always about the people. So yeah, it makes sense. And I see we got a Michigan girl here, huh? Sammy girl.
Yeah, Sammy girl. Yeah, but yeah, like I said, I'm working on it. I'm getting better at it, I hope that someday it gets easier. Of course, like I said, it's a work in progress. I definitely am like um I'm getting broken down to get built back up a lot, like a lot, guys. I've I I can't say that I'm 100%, you know, healed as far as like things that have happened. I can only say that I want so much. I want so much to be in a better place than I was last year, than I have in the years before, and I'm hoping that this year leads me to be a better person, and then next year I'll be better and just continue on that track. I don't want anything else other than to be a better person than I was yesterday. That's all I'm asking for. I don't see why there shouldn't be any other goal than that.
Well, you're on the right trajectory, you know. So just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah.
All right, let me just shake that off real quick. Damn. I didn't know it was gonna get heavy, Professor. Why you do this to me?
Hey, I didn't know it was either. I didn't. Your show, man. I'm just along for the ride.
Dude, it's like, and I did again. I forget. You know, like when you came on, I think you were one of the first people that really brought out like a realness in me that I didn't feel before, because I remember we were talking about basketball. You remember that shit? And it was like,
Yeah.
And I love it. I still love basketball and shit. You know, like so it's crazy that you're here again, and I'm glad you are. And I hope you continue to start working more on your channel. But I know you got real life. I know you got real life, and there's a lot of shit going on in your life as far as like, you know, things that are happening. So, you know, by the way, anybody who doesn't know Professor Crack, he has his own channel. He started off going out after the anti-auditors, but I think he's become a little bit more introspective of you know, other things now. I don't know where you're going with your channel, but he's like me, a person who's dealt with real life and is dealing with real life, and I think puts it out there and is not afraid to. So if you like me and you like the things that I've put out, I think you'll love Professor Crack. So if you can sub to his channel, give him a shot. He's a good guy.
I appreciate it. Appreciate the plug. Yeah. You know what? At heart, like really, I'm kind of. I just like journalism, and I'm trying to find a way to to do my brand of it. So that's really my goal with the YouTube shit. You know, it's whatever interests me. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate that. Whatever I'm just interested in or care about, to find my way to kind of put my spin on it. And you know, I've had some equipment upgrades and I've
I see
spent
that.
time thinking
I
about
see that.
things. Yeah, I've spent time thinking about things and what I want to do, and I'm getting there. It won't be too much longer before I think I'm back doing things on a regular basis. You know, my goal won't be to do something every day though. Like for a while, I felt it was like, you know, when you're an addict, it gets really easy to get addicted to any kind of behavior, right? Any dopamine hits or whatever, and then once you're in that routine, whether it's a good one or a healthy one or not, it's easy to get caught up in it. So like I was getting kind of obsessive about it and really had uh, like quality of the work was a secondary consideration. Like I wanted to do good things, but it was more important to get it out, right? Just keep getting stuff out. And I think
Yeah.
there's something to be said for that philosophy too, because like if you sit around your whole life waiting until you can make Star Wars, you'll probably never make it because you have
Yeah.
to go through a progression, I think. But I remember I would watch like Demi Kruger's channel and be like, God damn, man. I want to be able to hit like that. Or Dick Bag. He's so good with the motion graphics and shit that it's just like, I wish I had that skill. And I would find myself looking at everybody else, and you know, it's like make the basketball analogy, right? Like you want to take parts of different players' games and incorporate it into your own. Whether it's a crossover, a jump hook, so on and so forth. But I hadn't like reached a way to like have that like a healthy mindset as far as that goes. You know, it was just I was frustrated and burned out and all that kind of shit. Um, so now, you know, it's just keeping the main thing, and pretty soon I think I'll be doing some stuff. Actually, it was funny. Part of the reason I did jump on the live today was I was kicking around doing one this weekend, and I don't know that I'll have time because I had to pick up. Like I've got 3 jobs, I think now. You know, I just went back to United Way to do some work, and now I got to watch a bunch of videos all weekend for that. So it's always something that makes me put it off a little bit longer, but the itch is there. And both
Yeah.
staff skills go a long way. Ratchet is right.
You know what? Ratchet, I don't know. I think I picked them up from Lisa B's channel, but Ratchet has steadily become one of my favorite people on the internet. I don't know why. But I love this person.
Yeah, you know, like it's kind of funny how YouTube works too. Like you get to it's not like it's this weird or the internet more broadly. It's not just YouTube, but um socials. You get to know people, and then it's like real life, but it's not, but it is, you know. And so I did miss at first. I missed a lot of people when I first took a break from it because they had become almost like a part of my daily life, and um, just in little ways. It's not like I had been doing YouTube for years and I had known anyone like super intimately for a long time or anything, but you do miss it, and I miss that sense of community. I think everybody likes to have that feeling of belonging to a community. But it also, when I stepped away, man, that frauditing the anti-frauditor world I was a part of had gotten so fractured anyway because of the Wrangler thing that it didn't even feel good anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was kind of over it.
Yeah, dude. I think as far as you taking off and stuff like that, I think there was a bit of a void for me. But you weren't the only one though. Like everything that was happening, I was kind of isolated a little bit, but at the same time, that isolation was necessary. That isolation was necessary. It put me in a place where I had to kind of just like say enough is enough. You know what I mean? Like I can't I can't stop trying to escape the crap that I'm in. I have to face it, and I have to like take responsibility for myself. And so it yeah, like sometimes it sucks. Sometimes you know you don't want to get away, you don't want to be alone and stuff like that, but you need it. You need it. It's just necessary. And then once you get out of it, you can come back and you can find your friends again. The ones that are your friends, the ones that are cool with you, are going to be there. They're not
Right.
going to be gone.
Right. Yeah. 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 That that whole thing's weird to talk about because sometimes it's like, are you just beating a dead horse? Like you're not sure whether it's worth rehashing certain topics. Um, I wonder how many shows we did. How many lives do you think we did?
We probably did like, I want to say we did like 5 maybe altogether.
What? 5?
We did more. We did less. I don't know.
Dude, we did way more.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Different. Yeah. Yeah,
Holy
for
shit.
sure. I'm trying to pull it up now. I was gonna say it's probably closer to 50 than 5. It's not 50, but it's
Maybe
closer than
maybe like
5.
25. You know what it is. You know what it is that like now that I've done more like in the 4-hour like 3-hour mark. Yeah, I think yours came like they were shorter, right? They were like
They were
hour.
for sure. They're short.
Yeah.
They were short.
Yeah.
And I was very like, dude, I got an hour a lot of the times, and I was
Yeah.
and nobody really does that in the YouTube world. But yep. Yeah.
Yeah. It's but dude, I had fun doing all of them and shit. I love pulling in
They
people.
were fun.
I
There
love
were
pulling in
times
people.
too
Yeah.
where they were really fun, and I felt like, oh man, like we might have something good. It was hard to. It's so hard when there's like real life. That's why too. I think there were periods where I was going really hard with it because I'm like, if I can just get over a hump and devote most of my time to this channel, like I could do so much with it. It would be so fun but it's hard to do that. So
Yeah, and you know what I think it's better for the health of your channel, and it's better for the health of yourself to just let things happen, right? Like I mean, I know that my one of my biggest tools when I was getting people, especially like to get on the show and stuff like that, pulling in Dummy Kruger, Dick Bag, everybody, like my thing is like, like give it, as much as you can, like, and push them, like, and try to get to happen. But, like it also there has to be some sort of like, I guess like a natural way for it to kind of like also make itself happen, trying to push it too much can set you in a direction that you may not want to go. I say I've kind of changed my attitude a little bit. I say work on, I guess the best analogy I could put it in is work on the sailboat, let the winds carry you where they're gonna go. You know what I mean? Like put all your work into making it, seaworthy, get everything, up to par, make sure that it doesn't sink, but let the winds take you where they're gonna take you, because you can't really control how that's gonna happen. I mean,
right.
I don't know how people are gonna accept the stuff that I'm doing or what they like and don't like, and how fast it's gonna be consumed and where it's gonna be shared to. Like I'm just gonna let it be what it is, and whoever wants it, who wants to accept it, who wants to be a part of it, can be a part of it, and the people who don't won't. And that's
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, that's probably the healthiest attitude to have. I made a lot of what I did live private, but I'm looking back at it because I would get we would show things and I started getting dinged. I was so pissed off. Like, I did one video last month and I used the smallest snippet from a WWE video where, I don't, for anyone who knows him, Chris Jericho says, "You just made the list," and it used to be a comical thing people would laugh about.
Thank you.
And so I put that in there, literally 5 seconds, and then WWE copyrighted me on it. And so, like, that would happen. I remember we were watching A&E shit on a live one time, and they took it down on me. So I get a little bit like anxious with that kind of stuff, because it's like, man, nobody wants to put a bunch of work into a channel. Like, it's not like it just, my channel's monetized, but obviously I'm not doing anything with it, so it's not like it's about the money for me. But at the same time, anything you put work into, it's almost like a business, and you don't want it to become demonetized either. So yeah, it took some shit down, but I'm looking. Do you remember what we called it? This show? You should at least remember that.
I don't. I'm sorry, I don't.
Spaghetti Taco Hour, bro.
Oh, that's right. Well, look.
I know we kind of ripped it from.
We kind of drifted away from that, and I thought that was just gonna be like, because we were making fun of the whole spaghetti taco thing.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna. I didn't think that would last, but
I didn't know that it would last forever, or think that it necessarily would. But it's what we were running with at the time.
Yeah, it's true.
We were like, till something else comes along. But
right. Yeah, no, man, and like, I don't know, man. We could talk about, like, collabing again. I am so open, like, to collabing with people. I love it. I think I like collabing with people more than I do like doing my own single lives and stuff like that. I really do. Like, I've met some great people. There's Jeff. Dude, Jeff is an awesome dude. Like, I really like.
That's doing that.
No. He's the guy that was here earlier.
Yeah, right at the end. Okay.
Yeah, dude. And he is like Stone Vet. He's got a decorated, military background. He's got a big story, and it's a great story to tell. I really want him to be known, and for people to get to know him. I hope that I can facilitate that, and I hope that I can facilitate something where people can have his channel blow up, because I think he's a great dude. Stone Vet is of course, like, Stone Vet is his own pit bull. Like, he has his own, like, he's done his own stuff. I don't have to do anything for him. He's done everything for himself. He's out there, and he's done a great job of it. He's picking up his friend Dirty Hippie, who has been his partner from the beginning, and Dirty Hippie, another dude, he's right there. This guy right here, he's a great dude too. I like him a lot. So Dirty Hippie, then there's Wally, that's another guy, Master Sergeant retired. Again, a Master Sergeant retired is another one of those guys that no need to say more. He's a Master Sergeant retired. I don't know what else.
Yeah, it wasn't. He's the one who's got a whole channel based on the Stolen Valor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you've done stuff with him? I'm sort of looking through your backlog now. How often are you streaming nowadays?
I promise you he's nothing like Wrangler. I promise you he's nothing like Wrangler. He's a very good guy though. I've had conversations with him, offline, and Professor, that I'm like, I don't just like go about idolizing people, or like because I'm a fan, so that I have conversations. We have conversations offline. I make sure that I get to know people very well. And trust me, anybody who's up here with me, who gets to share the screen with me, it's not because we haven't talked offline, or because we haven't had some sort of like real friendship outside of these things that we do. So just so everybody understands, like, if you're here, if they're here, it's because there is something there, and I don't have you up here just because, you know, like, oh, I want you, or it's some sort of clout thing or whatever. It's never that. It's never that.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, bro, I hate to be so abrupt, but I gotta run. My son is grabbing my attention, and I gotta head to my second job anyway. So, but
Oh,
it's
you're
been
good.
good talking to you, bro.
You know, it's been fun. I was about to. I got about 15 minutes left before I have to get the hell out of here anyway. So I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, for
We'll
sure.
talk more.
All right, sounds good, man. Take
All
care.
right, buddy. Again, awkward. What is it with everybody and not being able to leave fast enough? What's going on here? What a stream, guys! I didn't expect that. I didn't expect. I didn't expect to have Professor Crack get here. I like that he did, though. It's been a while since I've had him up, and it was fun. Took me back a year ago when I was getting this stuff started. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys sitting here for the whole thing. You know, I know that we talk a shit about Kaiser and Tuttle and all that shit, and we always get into like crazy shit like that. But you know, every once in a while, it's nice to have a conversation about human shit, about being a human, and how we we all kind of go through the same shit. I've been watching you guys' chats. You guys are amazing. I love you guys. Hopefully I'll see you guys again. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow is Hippie and Stone Vets Day. So you guys better be on time. And I'll see you guys in that chat. Maybe Sunday I'll do something else. Yeah, I hope everybody has a great weekend. You guys have fun, okay? Be careful, responsible, and don't just don't forget to live life, huh? Don't stay watching your computer all day. Go outside, get some air, get some sun. Enjoy your life. I'll see you guys on the next one. Now I'm doing it. Now I can't get out of here. What the hell, dude? What is happening?